Hey man,
Recording in
Lance,
progress.
you should become a mentor, man. You're so awesome. Thank you for everything. Yeah,
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
man. You got it.
No, dude. I mean, I don't. Nobody's gonna like see this. Like, I'm just recording it for basically like my own review. So yeah, you don't have. It's not like that.
Well, just
But
in case.
yeah, it's not like that though. But yeah,
All right, man.
I was more like, are you ready? Like, so we can just like, we'll just get into some of this chart stuff.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate it.
for sure, dude. So do you want to take a look at some of those hammers, or do you want to look at some of that stuff that I was talking about with Dave in that thread? I mean, we can do whatever you want to look at. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I think the one thing I get hung up on, and it's not that I don't understand it, but it's more so like I want to make sure I'm seeing the same thing as other traders out there. And in terms of support and resistance, right? Like some of them are pretty clear cut. And then I also know it's kind of more of an art than a science at times because depending what wick you pick for day trading or, just things like that. And I've noticed, you say you don't take arbitrary targets, and I don't want to either. But there are often times where like it hits like the stock hits a resistance point that I didn't recognize. And so then it begins to reverse. So I wasn't able to put my, profit target there before it hits the, mine, which is a little further up, for example. And then it reverses. And then what happens is I end up getting stopped out. And so
Why don't we get into some examples that you might have?
unfortunately, I don't have any off the top of my head. I'm not super
Do you keep a
prepared.
journal?
I do, but I don't think it's in that much detail. And then but yeah, so do you have Google? I'll share you my my journal, which is kind of bad for many
Okay, well, why
reasons,
don't
but I'll
I
let you
share
know.
you a journal that I know for a fact is good,
Okay.
because I use it every single day, and
Oh,
I'll show you
mine's
my
bad,
back
not
trading
in the
log.
sense that I don't use it. It's bad
No, I
because
get
I
you. I
took
get
some
you. I
really
get you.
bad trades in the last month.
Oh, I see. So I'm not talking about the performance at all. That's not at
Okay,
all what
okay.
I'm talking about. I'm talking specifically about like the data I'm capturing and the format and what, and everything has intent on the entire sheet. It's loading right now. I'm bringing it up.
All right. I
But
sent
yeah,
you a link of mine. So if you want to open that and you can give me some critique on that too, sure, why
cool.
not? Yeah.
I need access. So I'm going to request access.
Okay.
Just sent an email.
Sorry, I thought here you go. So yeah, I the really bad trades that I take, it's I get way too in my own head and then I emotionally trade like really badly. Like I just keep going in. Um
Dude,
and well, it's
I
like a beginner thing. And like I'm slowly forming like better rules. I'm slowly getting better at following them too. But yeah, like sometimes it's just I go insane and then so you'll notice like some of the strategies I have there are just like bullshit because it's not a strategy. It was
yeah. Well, dude, okay. So first and foremost, that's the main thing. Like point blank period, you're not going to be successful until you take the same setups over and over and over and over, and you let the trade come to you. And if it doesn't meet your criteria perfectly, you
mhm,
literally just, dude, it can be 9:45 in the morning. You're like, all right, done for the day, not to my like. I do that
mhm,
almost every day. I take like three
right.
trades a week, but the
Mhm,
trades I take, like, I almost never lose. And when I do lose, I almost never lose a full R. I mean, I
mhm,
lose, but like, I almost never lose a full R. And I'm making, like, I only take an R usually. Like if I get an R, because my trades usually work within 10 minutes. So if
mhm,
I'm getting an R in 10 minutes, why stay in? I mean,
mhm.
I'll show you some setups where it's like, okay, that's why I stay in, because they're
I
obvious.
see.
But like I rely on my win rate and my small losing because I'm so selective with the trades that I do take that
Mhm,
when I like, dude, they're so perfect at setups that they're just gonna work unless something weird happens. Which, like, if it's weird, so by definition, it doesn't happen often. But okay, I'm looking at your journal. This is a lot of like you're capturing a lot of good data. So this is
Yeah.
great. I mean, I would say some of it is kind of unnecessary. You probably don't even need to capture all this data, to
Hmm.
be frank. Because dude, if you have if she in your comment section here, wait, let me bring up the make sure we're looking at the same screen.
Yeah. Well, I know like a lot of my problems are like emotional. Like I have a huge issue with greed. So like, you know, I can make 5 Rs. Why would I just make 1 R sort of thing, right?
Dude,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, just like overall, it's not great. So that's why today I told myself, you know, uh, I keep making that same mistake. So if I get 2 Rs or if I get 1 R, I take some profit. 2 Rs, I take a profit. It doesn't matter if it's a resistance or not. I just wanted to make sure that that was my plan and that's what I did. But you know, ultimately, I want when I get more experience, I'm able to recognize the signals that I can hold on a trade for longer and things like that. So
So, dude, what we're going to talk about today, other than the journal aspect, is exactly like this will revolutionize the way that you think about profit taking, entries, and stops. Okay, because
okay.
it's all about. So my plan is a plan should be this is where I'm going to enter. This is what's protecting my stop. And this is what's protecting me from making more money. This is where I expect the price movement to stop. So I should either, so, but when you see where that level is, you're like, okay, if it gets here, it's either going to bounce and reverse, or what's below
Hmm.
this? Is it going to keep going? I trade short almost exclusively. So when I say below, you could think the same thing as above, just flip it.
Gotcha.
But like, um, yeah. So knowing where those levels of resistance are, where is their space? Where is their room? What's the size? What's the space between protection and profit? Like, so for example, just real quick, let's look at this Mara trade that he was talking about. So I think I put it in the oh wait, wrong screen, sorry.
In the chat,
So
right?
yeah, we were talking about, I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen. Can you see the, yep, okay.
Right,
Let
yeah.
me see if I can get this drawing. Okay. So his setup, and I know, like this may or may not be anything you would ever take, but it doesn't matter because it's all the same stuff. Okay. So I think he took a setup. Let's go back. Yeah. Okay. And honestly, the same setup's going to work. It looks like twice. So okay, he took this. Let me get this shit out of here so we can start from scratch. Okay. So he took a trade. I think he got in like right here, and his stop. Oops, wrong way. He got in like right here, I think, on one of these red candles, right? And then his stop was like, it was like here.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It wasn't even above the the pivot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, dude, so okay, I would never take this trade first and foremost. Just wouldn't take it.
Okay.
Like the way it's set up right now, just it violates everything about support and resistance. I
So
mean,
before
so
you
okay,
go on, can I
go
see
ahead.
the daily just to see what we're playing with? Because I like I based my
Okay,
setup on
another
the
piece of
daily.
advice.
Yeah.
The way that I do my analysis, if I'm trading the 5 minute, and this is controversial, but it works for
Okay.
me 100%. I don't look at anything else. I can
Hmm.
see what happened because, dude, the daily is going to give you like a big block, and then like some lines, and okay, whatever. But like you don't see all this. You don't see all this stuff.
Hmm.
So like to me, I don't care about the exact penny of the low because I'm trading a zone. The support and resistance is a zone. It's not, do I expect it to bounce at this penny? Because when I'm trading a 5 and I'm trading tight margins, it just doesn't make any sense to look at the daily. In most cases, for me, it's too much data. I get paralysis by analysis. It doesn't affect my trading. So like I don't want to look at it because I'm trading the 5 minute chart. Now, when I'm swinging, dude, of course I look at the daily. Of course I look at the day. I look at the 65. I look at the weekly. Of course. But when I'm day trading, I'm trading the 5 minute chart. I don't care about the daily.
So
So I
it's
would challenge
interesting.
you for
Yeah.
just this session. Let's
Okay.
disregard the daily and see how effective that can be. Like,
Okay. Sure.
in fact, dude, the daily for me, I used to look at the daily and be like, okay, a candle of this size today would make sense. So like I missed out on so many trades thinking about what the candle should look like for the day. I'm not looking at the data that's coming at me tick by tick. You know what I mean? Because I already have a preconceived idea of what the day should look like. So I'm not looking at each candle as it comes in.
So sorry, when you're doing this, is this like before, like, so are you not looking at the day? Like, I would assume you're looking at the daily to see what stock you're gonna trade for the day, no?
Nope, zero.
Huh.
I'll show you exactly what I do. This is what I do.
Yeah, maybe walk
So,
me through your process, like how you select the stock and then like how you choose what you're gonna trade for the day.
so this is what I do. I trade the 5. I don't trade the 3. So let me get on the 5. So like today, let's go back to, what did I see on LBS? This 21st, 22nd. Oh, wait.
So do you not look at gaps and stuff? Like,
I see the gap. I see the gap on the 5.
but
Why
then
do
like
I
how
need
do
to
you
see
know
it on the
what's
daily?
what's oh, I see. So you just look at a scanner and then you go
No, I don't
like
look at a scanner. This is my
oh,
list of
okay, these are
tickers.
your lists.
I
I
put
see.
this list together by back trading them.
Ah, gotcha.
Some of them, I'll be honest with you, like some of them I don't trade very often, and I need to like if I'm having a slump with the tickers I'm already in, then I'll just go back trade the heck out of these other ones until I'm like, okay, I know exactly how they move. I feel comfortable. I know how they work. I know if they're trappy. I know if they fake me out. Like if they fake me out like twice, I take it off my list, honestly,
Okay.
because there's other tickers that just don't. Like they're most of the time they work. So
Gotcha.
that's a foundational element, a fundamental element to the way I trade is I trade tickers. I don't chase tickers. I have a list of tickers. I don't
Okay.
veer off that list. I don't look at a gap list in the morning. I don't do that. I trade my tickers. If there's a gap there, great. If there isn't, okay. I have like, let's see, how many tickers do I have on this list? I don't know, probably 30, 20 some tickers. I mean, the green are all my swings I'm in. These are my open positions. And then all this stuff, like I have the indexes, obviously. So like those don't count. But I mean, honestly, my bread and butter is like 6, like LVS, CCL, M, Twitter, NVIDIA. Like I'll trade these LVS, CCL, M, Twitter a lot. And then I'll just like peruse the rest of the list and see if something cool is setting up. But like, yeah, dude, I don't look at anything other than like when I start my day, I get on the computer at like 9:17 and I see what the first candle is going to give me. I have no preconceived notion of what's going to happen that day. I look at the candle and I read it and I see what happens. So like today, okay, first candle, 9:30, this is a hammer. Okay, we have a hammer down here. Here's a support level down here. This looks like strong support down here. But then we also have like support right here. So right away, I don't like this because it's kind of not that clear. It's a little bit ambiguous. Like I don't see, okay, like a great level that this is going to bounce at because I have this thing here, I have this thing here, I have this thing here. They don't, like, yeah, you might be able to get away with a hammer here. Okay, maybe. But the thing is, I'm going to be patient with it because I also have these EMAs overhead. So like, if this thing came in with like enormous volume, I'd be paying a little bit more attention. But the fact is, so if I take this hammer, I would have like all of this is where I would expect if it gets past my wick, then the next level for it to bounce is like somewhere here. I want to give it a little bit of room to like play here. Okay, so this is the next level where I would feel like, okay, if it gets past my wick, it's probably going to come down here, the wick of this hammer, right? So if I take a trade long with this
Can I
hammer,
pause you right here just real quick?
sure.
So when you're talking about a zone, like how fat and how wide is this zone, like imaginary zone that you're playing with, or is it just
Do you
mostly
see?
just that
Do you
whole
see how?
consolidation area?
Yeah. Let
Okay.
me get rid of this.
Then what happens if you have a really like volatile zone? Like if it's
I
really
don't
up and
trade
down?
tickers like that.
Well,
I don't trade tickers like that because
so,
they don't
I
work
see. I see. Okay.
for this strategy. Like
And
if a
could you
if a
outline your
ticker's moving,
strategy?
huh?
Like, can you outline your strategy just so I have an idea of like what I would expect when you're doing this?
Yeah, I have 3. We'll go through
Oh,
them.
okay.
Like
Okay.
I'll send you my back trading list that has all the roles in them written down.
Oh, okay.
But I'll just just for the sake, because you'll see it come together as we look at
Okay.
support and resistance and take trades. You'll see it. You'll see
Okay.
how it
Okay.
comes together. I mean, it's like it honestly is like kind of common sense. Like if you understand the structure of support and resistance
Right.
and volume, it's just like it's not even like a strategy. I'm literally just playing. I mean, it is like I formalized it, but like you're literally just playing the movement of the price action. Like
Okay. And that's
it's
kind of
just
how
so
I wanted
fluid.
to play things too, because I just feel like the market is not always really going to give you exactly what you want, right? And I feel like you need to be somewhat adaptive too. Like, yeah, you want to follow rules, you want to do this and that, but like, um, wouldn't you think being a bit flexible is also, a pro?
Um, I think that's why you should have maybe more than one. No, well, first of all, I don't necessarily agree. So,
Okay.
first of all, I mean, yeah, it's cool to be nimble. It's cool to, but I think it's what's instead of looking at it that way, maybe challenge yourself to look at it in a way that like there's always going to be something out there that meets my strategy. I just
Mm,
need to find it and seize the opportunities as they come. Because, dude, there's 10,000 tickers.
right.
Like, it's impossible that it's statistically like not impossible, but I mean, exceedingly unlikely that there's going to be a day that goes by where somewhere in the entire market, there is not a way for you to make money with your strategy.
I see.
Now, with that said, on my list of 20 tickers, is there a day where I don't see anything I like? All the time.
Hmm.
All the time. 3 days a week, probably. I don't see anything I like. So I don't trade. So
Mm,
I used to think that I needed to trade every single day. Every day, I needed to be in a trade. Just like I show up to work, I have to work every day. And for me, that meant I had to take a trade. I need to find a good setup. And I was chasing. Dude, I burned money. I
mm,
literally would have been better off taking money, putting it in a barrel, and then setting it on fire, and then like throwing the ashes into the river, like burning money. Like, oh, is that a double top right there? Oh, is that a neckline retest? Like, oh, like is this a double bottom? Like, where should I get in? Like, the volume looks okay. Like, just chasing all day long. Like, if I got into a trade and it by like 9:45, I got stopped out. I'm like, shit, I need to make that back. On to the next one. And I just like am scanning like just an incoherent list of tickers, just clicking through charts like this, like looking for a setup. Like, dude, it's just not only is it like exhausting, but it's
hmm.
like you're getting like if you have that mindset where you're chasing and you're constantly trying to like look for something to like, then for me, like from an emotional perspective, that means okay, I don't believe that there's enough opportunity out there to be patient. I believe I need to go chase it. I believe that if I don't go make this money, it's not just gonna appear in my setup. It's not going to come to me. I need to go out there and grab it because I'm not confident that it's going to come to me. That's what it was for me. I was like, I need to go out there and get it. And when I shifted the mindset into these are my setups, these are my tickers. If I don't see something I like exactly how I want it to be, I don't trade it. And that for me, my own personal level of patience is not that high. So I want to trade the opening range. I want to make my money in 10 minutes before 10:30. That's the way I like to trade on day trades. And that works for me because I don't like sitting around for an hour waiting for like a neckline retest to make a new high. And like, there's just all this, I just don't like it. For me, it doesn't work. And I honestly like understanding ranges. It does like, look at this. Here's your opening range. Here's the first 30 minutes. Price stays within that all day long, like pretty much. Like, yeah, you can make some money here, you can make some money there. But look, you already made all this money in 15 minutes. So why wait the rest of like the day or another hour to make more? Like, just doesn't make any. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Like today would have been a good day on Spy. Let's see, where are we at? 22nd. Where do we start? No, I mean, I wouldn't have played anything here. Like one could say, oh, within full context, I mean, Spies is this all time highs to Spy for 55? I don't know, probably
Yeah,
somewhere up
it's
there.
bouncing off of it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you, I mean, this isn't like a great example because this isn't something that you'll see every day. Now, keep in mind, I wouldn't play this because it's not within my rules. Like I'm already done for the day. But I mean, if you see this amazing tweezer top, just get and you know you're at all time highs, and we've literally had like 6 bull days in a row that have like been huge gaps. Like, of course, maybe you take a short trade here, but for me, I'm already done. I don't need to wait until 10:30 and like hope something sets up. Like I know within the first 2 candles of the chart if I'm going to take something, and
Okay.
like that for me feels good because now I have the rest of the day to just like for fun watch tickers move. It's fun to watch them
Hmm.
for me.
So you
It's
kind of
not
just
stressful.
described how I've been trading most of the time, just chasing tickers or like just seeing, okay, well, this, like here's the list of the stocks that gapped in the way I like it. So how I've been playing it is I played the 1 minute bear candle. Yeah,
You
breaking.
love losing money, dude. Play the one
Yeah,
minute chart.
yeah, breakout. Well, so it, it's not great, I know, but it's kind of the strategy that um I just started with, right? And then instead of just
Mhm.
jumping around trying all these other things, it's kind of what I've been doing. And I learned this from like basically YouTube, right? Like that's how I started to learn how to trade, right? And I didn't,
Me too, pretty much.
yeah, right? Because like I'll go into the detail about like the history of how I got into trading, but later. But basically, it's like kind of what I learned, right? Like people scalp the open of all these like
Me too.
small, yeah, right, small tiny ass stocks, and then within the first 15 minutes they make like $1,000 or whatever,
Yeah, and they're
right?
forexing their account like every 3 weeks. Yeah, dude.
Exactly, right? And so like, well, you don't know any better, right? So anyway,
Mhm.
like,
And then, dude, I mean, it's human nature. Like, if I can forex my account in 3 weeks, like this dude, of course I'm going to try to do exactly what he's doing. I mean, it's human nature. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
exactly, right? So anyway, like it's just like before I had a lot of problems of, kind of like having a better idea of which direction it would go in. But
Mhm.
since I learned about the different types of gaps, I was able to, and then it was kind of working out for me. And as long as I'm taking like 1 hour or 2 hours, like usually it's fine. Anyway, I don't have a lot of data in that, but besides the point, I'm just saying like, um, yeah, like I just look at a lot of these tickers and I try to do that, do that move, right? But I have a bias towards the open because I feel like that is literally the largest moves that you'll get in the day, right?
Me
So
too.
and like I kind of want like my preference is to focus on that because like I don't want to sit here for an hour to see if something works and
Yeah,
like,
why? If you can make
right, like
money in 15 minutes, why wait an hour?
exactly. And so I guess it's kind of nice to hear from what you're saying is that, like just have a handful of takers and follow that. And if not, just don't trade. Um,
Dude,
so
it
the
will alleviate. I mean, your
yeah,
days, like there'll be days when when it's like 9:40 in the morning, you're like, all right, done. And you'll just feel so good because you're like I didn't lose a dime today. I stuck to my plan. I didn't take a trade, and like I
yeah,
know that the rest of this month I'm still gonna make more than a job. I'm still gonna be profitable. I mean,
right.
depending on your account size. And I
Yeah.
literally can just be at 9:40 in the morning. I'm just done for the whole day. Like yeah, stop it. Like for me, it was like I'm thinking about it in the course of the day. I need to do this today, and then expanding into it's the month, it's the week, it's the year, it's my
Hmm.
life that the money is. It's not like I need to make it all right now because it felt like that for me too.
Yeah, and that's definitely how I feel because I'm doing this full time. I'll get into
Me too.
why. Yeah, I mean I'll get into why, after the recording. But yeah, so like it's almost like I need this cash flow, right? And so when you need this cash flow,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I got to trade every day. Like I don't, and you hear about all these people trading every day, and that's how they make their money, right? Regardless if it's like a lot or a little, like at least it's like cash flow. And like for me, I wasn't really that enticed with swing trading because, like let's say I do risk an R, and for example, my
uh,
R is $100. Do I really have to wait,
yeah, dude.
a week,
Same exact mindset, dude.
right? Like, do I
Same
have to wait
exact
a week
mindset.
to make two hundred
Why?
dollars, for example?
When
Right?
like, dude, this is what 6 months worth of data. It's been 2 days. Like, why would I wait like a month to make money. Now, the
Exactly.
one caveat I'll say with that is like the market conditions, the way they were like this week, last week, perfect for swings because you're seeing a lot of breakouts and stuff like that. So for me, it's easy to just be like, okay, this is so good that the risk
Yeah.
reward is like I just put an R worth and in 2 months it's 6 R's because that, like, I mean, all my swings are getting absolutely murked right now, which sucks. But
Right.
I mean, they're great setups. Like, look at this. This is a breakout of long-term consolidation on high volume. So
Yeah.
like this is a good swing. Like this is why swinging is attractive right now because
Mm.
the market is just turning around. We've had our dip. October is historically a good month through the rest of the year. So like, yeah, when I see a setup like this on high volume breaking out of this little like triangle and like wedge, same
Yeah.
thing, plug gaps up after out of this little wedge. Like that's a breakout on a weekly, like, so
Mm-hmm.
these are great. This is right now is a great opportunity to be in swings. But dude, I echo your sentiments. Like 99% of the year, I'm in like almost no swings unless something's just so good looking, like off the MA or like a long-term MA or something like that. But yeah, dude, I totally agree. And
I also
to,
do see like the pros of swings though. Like it's something I'm trying to get into because I just recently joined. Actually, I just joined the afternoon channel yesterday, right?
oh, cool.
Um, because I do notice that like you can be a little bit more heavy than like 1 hour, like let's say for your day trading, whereas because day trading is so volatile, whereas like on a swing you can kind of load up or position up and then
Well, dude, see, there's a difference. I
yeah.
think position trading and swing trading are different because on a
Hmm.
swing, I would caution you against loading up on a swing. A position
Okay.
trade like Tesla over the past 2 months, that's a position trade. But a
Hmm.
swing, dude, if you're swinging, man, and you load up and it's a swing, like you want to be out days, and that you get like an insane gap down, like you're hosed.
Yeah,
So
that's
like I
true.
wouldn't risk much more than an R on a swing. On a position trade in a company that you believe in, like dude, if you buy Tesla on the daily off this like what was it like the off the 200 down here, and you're already in a wedge, and the weekly's in a wedge, like dude, load the goddamn and Jeremy Betts' beard. Yeah, load. Oh, you weren't there for that, but
No.
dude, load the boat. Every dollar you have could go into this trade. I mean, because worst case scenario, you can stop out right here and you lose like a little bit. Best case scenario, it makes what a 35-40% run in like 2 months. I mean, on 100K, dude, that's 40 grand. That's
Yeah, yeah.
40 R's worth of day trading, which like it's like 4 months for me in day trading. Like 40 R's, that's conservatively that's 4 months. Like my goal is 10 R's a month because
Hmm.
that's enough to like pay my bills and grow my account a little bit. But yeah, dude. So position trading, I would not look at it the same way as swing trading. As a word of caution, I wouldn't load up on swings. Like if you're playing, like just like this chewy swing that we're in right now on the daily. I think we got in like I don't know, like off this low or something like that. It wasn't even like an amazing trade. In fact, this probably makes I don't know, it probably doesn't make another low, but yeah, I mean something like this. I don't know. Well, that's the thing about the market conditions, the way that they've been right now. Everything's kind of at that long-term, midterm support. So now's not a bad time to load up. But like
Hmm.
if you're thinking about a swing, like, okay, I'm gonna play this hammer with a stop like down here and like okay, so imagine this isn't here. So okay, I'm gonna play this hammer through the MAs. It closed above the 20, and I'm gonna try and take it like I don't know up to here, like some like I mean relative high somewhere. Like here's some
Hmm.
resistance, so like maybe I'll take it up to here. I mean there was some big selling, so maybe I'll take it here. So I'll play it. I don't know. I don't play. I mean, on a daily chart, it's uncommon. Like it would probably be a sign of weakness to get a like little fill down here. So on a daily chart, it makes more sense to do something like this.
Yeah.
And take it up into that new high. But I mean, dude, that's 0.83 R's. Like, why
Hmm.
would I load? Why would I load up? Like, if you're this is a swing, so why would I load right here?
So
Worst case, go
sorry, go
ahead.
on. Yeah. I was just gonna ask, like, you know, in your opinion, like, how long is a swing usually? Like between days and weeks,
Days,
right?
days or weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
for me, it's days. Like, I went out. If I'm not out in 2 weeks, now, but here's what's yeah. So like, if I'm playing something like this, I went out in days. I went out in 2 or 3 days, something like
Hmm.
this. But if I'm playing and even this fuel cell trade, honestly, I wanted to be at least take some profits up here within like a couple of days.
Hmm.
But because it's doing this like this,
Yeah,
I also swing with options. So
I see.
I'm working on trading, swinging with options in an exclusive theta positive way,
Hmm.
so that I'm getting paid to hold, because and that's, I just signed up for Robert RT3's
Credit spread.
mentoring group for that.
I see.
But
Yeah, I haven't got into any options yet because I'm still like, well, because of I guess YouTube and all the time that I focus on right now, it's all been day trading, and that's kind of all I've known and been exposed to.
oh, you can day
Um,
trade with options, bro.
I know, but I just
Yeah.
like it's only been stocks, right? So I want to make sure like I don't want to diversify too quickly because like,
Yeah,
I've
you're
only
right.
doing this for 5 months, right?
Dude, you need to. Well, the thing is, once you learn the fundamentals, once you understand how the chart works, once you understand
Yeah,
support, resistance, volume, you can. It doesn't matter. You can do
yeah.
anything you want. It's all the same. It's
And
literally
so
all
that's
the
what
same,
I'm hoping to master within the year, right? Like, or at least,
dude.
proficiently.
After, like, we could be talk. We'll talk about this for 2 weeks, and you'll be like, maybe even before that, you'll be gold. Like, dude, it's so simple. Like, for me,
Yeah,
I thought there was so much. Like, I just needed to learn so much. I needed to just, like, it's got to be more difficult than this. But dude, I was in the same boat. Like, I would be like, oh, do I draw my resistance line here because of this wick? Like, what do I
yeah,
do here? That, I remember being in that place. That sucks. I
yeah,
hated that. Like, not knowing where to put my lines. That definitely sucks. But we'll get
yeah.
into that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's gonna take a little practice. But just send me literally every chart that you do analysis on. You're like, am I drawing these right? Like, let's just talk about it. It'll make it so
Yeah,
much
cool.
easier.
The
Um,
other day, remember you offered to help me with like some sentiment thing. Well,
yeah.
and Marta got to me first, but basically what I did was I took my like 1 minute strategy or whatever, but the strategy didn't matter. I just wanted to have enough candles to basically kind of analyze and go candle by candle and see what it was doing. So what I did is I wrote down my thoughts on each 1 minute candle until the trade or whatever ended, and then Marta kind of went through it with me. Granted, she didn't like some of the questions I asked, she didn't have answers, and she actually told me to go back to you to because you know more about candles and whatnot. But that's kind of what I did, and so that's what
Oh,
like
that's cool. That's so
yes.
sweet of her.
So when I'm practicing reading sentiment and volume, that's what I've been doing, and I haven't gotten through a lot of them yet. But every day I try to at least do one sort of thing.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Well, okay. Well, so let me just wipe your brain real fast.
Oh yeah,
On a
please.
1 minute chart, dude, even on a 5 minute chart, not every candle means something. Like,
Hmm.
they just, especially on, dude, look at a 1 minute. I don't even have one on here anymore. Look at this chart. I mean, just look. What the heck? Look how small they are. Like, what the hell is this? There's like a year. Like, this just. What the hell does this mean? Like, it's just too. It's this hyper analysis, dude. Especially intraday. I mean, if you want to zoom in and get an idea of what's going on, like, okay, like if you're trying to pick a low where you need to get out, and this is already kind of at resistance, and like you're like, okay, well, if it breaks this volume, blah 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 blah. Dude, it's just too much. There's no need for it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So I
It
think
just
it's
doesn't.
I think it's back to like my greediness again, where like I see so many trades just take off on a gap and go, and like there's no entry on a five. So what I end up doing is like I use the one, and then if it breaks above the one, and I just hold it, and I have like a a, a stop, like relatively
Did you hear
close
just what
by.
you said though? If there's
Yeah,
no setup on the five, then I'll go to the one.
yeah,
Dude, you're chasing.
yeah,
Like, if
yeah,
there's no
yeah,
setup on the five and you're playing the five, there's no setup on the five. That's it. There's no setup.
yeah.
Like,
So
you can make a setup. You can make one appear on
yeah,
any chart at any minute. You can make like this right now. Okay, this is a little weird double top thing. I want in right here. And dude, does that mean it's a good trade? No way. Because if it bounces, I mean, it could work. I mean, it could. This actually wouldn't be a terrible trade. But like,
mhm,
yeah, if it bounces up here, and then yeah, it could bounce here and then come back down here, and then that's like, boop. So if I put it actually isn't a good trade, because here's where I have to put my stop. So okay, I get in here. My stop, where am I going to be protected? Where is my stop protected? It's protected right here. That's where I feel confident putting my stop on a trade like this. And what's my risk reward? 0.5 R's to the next level where it bounced last time. What the hell kind of risk reward is that? It's garbage. Now people will tell you like, oh no, you can put your stop here above this like other part of the double top. I'm like, that would be cool. Okay, that's 1R. But like, look at this move it already made. Like, in my opinion, you missed it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the money was. Yeah, I mean, could this trade work? Sure, but look what it has to do. It has to curl up. It has to turn the EMAs back up, and then like it has to come back down, and RSI's all the way down here. Like, but yeah, like now if you see this on a 1 minute chart, you're like, oh shit, like yeah, I gotta get in. And then it's doing that on a 1 minute chart, but on a 5 minute chart, it looks terrible. Like there's no room. So, dude, for me, pick a time frame. That's it. Just think about that time frame.
Okay.
That's it. And think, yeah, like for me, a 1 minute chart, like this is nonsense. This is just like I don't know who's trading the 1 minute chart intraday. Like think about it, and I'm kind of just talking out my butt here, but like the way I'm thinking about it is like the smart money, like the real institutional money, they're not trading a 1 minute chart.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get in and out on a 1 minute chart because the candles will be enormous. The volume will be huge. Everyone will see what they're doing. They can't get in on a 1 minute chart. There's not enough volume per candle. But on a
Well, that's
5
why I
minute
only
chart,
play the open, right? Because like
yeah,
that's where and like I'm not saying that I definitely know my method isn't great. And I'm like I'm changing that. I want to play like hammers and double bottoms and things like that. So that's like I'm like most of the time I don't trade on the 1 minute. It's only if like I see a gap and go that's above resistance and I like a pivot point, then I'll take that like opening bear candle break. But anyway,
I
like
see.
that's besides the point. Yeah, like for
No,
sure. Like
it's relevant for sure. That's relevant because that is exactly what you're doing. So that's what we need to talk about. But yeah, dude. I mean, for me, the 1 minute chart, it just there's too much shenanigans. Like it just doesn't tell me anything valuable.
So why did you pick the 5 and not the 3?
Because it's slow. It gives me plenty of time. Gives me plenty of time to think about what I want to do. There's not that many candles in a day, so like this is a perfect amount of data for me. That's all I need. Like if I can't make money on this chart, then I mean, like how much more do I want? I can make an R. I can make 2 R's on this chart. What do I want? 30 R in a day? It's not gonna happen. I want 1 R a day. If I can get 1 R a day, bro. If I can get 1 R a day, that is life-changing money.
So when you're setting up like a trade, and you mentioned that a lot of the time you just take like a 1R, right? So
Yeah.
you know, on University of YouTube, they basically say like, no, you need like a risk to reward 3-to-1, or don't take the trade, or like I get it. It needs to be flexible. But then mathematically, if you keep taking 1R wins, and wouldn't you technically not be profitable because like obviously your win rate's high, but like
It's a function of 2 things:
okay,
win rate,
yeah,
and risk reward. If you have, like, think about a credit spread, for instance. Your win rate, your risk reward is like 1 to 20. It's terrible. Your risk reward on a credit spread, you're like on the last spread I did, I risked $13,000 to make like 800 or something like that. It's a terrible risk reward.
right.
It's horrendous. But when you look at the probability of it's a 90% chance it's going to work. So like the win rate compensates for the risk reward. And if you know how to hedge, I mean, your stats go up even higher.
I see.
And your losses become smaller.
Gotcha.
So to say I need a 3-1 risk reward, your win rate can be like 40% with that. But the reason your win rate is so low is because 3R moves aren't as common.
Yeah, they're not.
You need a lot to happen for a big move, especially on a 5. And on the 1, like who has the buying power to go in that heavy and to like not me. I don't have that much buying power to
It's
make
also
the same amount.
they use really like tight stops, like really tight stops, right? Literally below the low of like a 1 minute hammer, right?
And there's no protection for their stop. That's why their win rates sucks, and their risk reward is so high because there's nothing to protect their stop, so it gets hit all the time. But when it works 4 out of 10 times, it works for 3 Rs. That's how it works. There's an inverse relationship.
Yeah.
It's just that's math.
So when I first started, because that's what they were doing and I was mimicking, like I just kept losing, right? Like I just didn't get it. Like I kept losing and losing and losing. So it almost came to me like, okay, well, like I read all about like where to put stops, but then I end up like not knowing at the same time. So I got really confused. And then until I
Yeah.
got here, and what I noticed in the beginner trading room is that the stops are humongous.
Yeah, they're
Um,
too big for me. I don't like their stops most of the time.
yeah. So, but now like I've kind of come to like a method where like if I find like a consolidation area and the consolidation area isn't like too big, then I think that's like a good place to put a stop. So like for example, the trade I took today on AMD, right? Like, okay, like well, you know my analysis, but basically if it hits here and I see like a reasonable stop place, I'll put the stop there. And because I use like DAS Trader, I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Never
Uh,
heard of it.
it's basically like a direct access tool, like that links to my broker. So it
Oh, I saw you talking about it. Yeah,
yeah,
but I
so
didn't know. Yeah.
basically it helps me calculate my shares between the distance from my entry and my stop
Bro, why don't you just
automatically.
use TradingView? Look at this.
No, no, no. I can, but basically, like, so a lot of scalpers use this tool. It's because I learned it from YouTube, but basically, a lot of scalpers use this tool because you can basically push a button and you get into the trade, and you push a button and you get out of the trade, right?
Oh,
So like, there's
oh
no
yeah. Well,
setup. There's no setup, right? So
oops.
for me, I have to pre-plan my stop because I can enter at any point. But if I can also put a limit order. So what I do is I put my stop first and then put my limit order, and it automatically calculates my risk based on my R. So that's why like I need to know where my stop is first, like along with my
Bro, isn't that
entry.
stressful? Aren't you stressed out like every trade you take? Are you not like bugging out?
Like I just know there's so many reasons why I'm bugging out, but
Dude,
maybe
are you legit like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god? Like, are you stressed out like that when you take a trade? Because I'll be honest with you, I still get that for sure.
yeah, I would
But it's
say so.
dude, relative to like, oh, I need to get in right now. Like, I need this shit to be instant. Like, dude, if it's like if you're not poised, if you don't have time to be poised, you're on the wrong time frame, bro. I traded the 1 minute too. I scalped. I lost 20K scalping, trying to
Okay, I'm
scalp.
not as bad. I lost 6K, and then after
Dude,
6K, I said, "Fuck that! I'm not losing
20K in a
6K."
month, dude. In a
Oh,
month.
ouch. Yeah, that's bad.
Six
That hurts.
30% of my account.
Yeah, that hurts.
And I
Yeah.
lost another 30% of my account on GameStop before I knew how to trade.
Oh,
So
ouch.
yeah, my
Yeah,
account got nuked, and yeah, now I know how to trade, and it's easy sailing, and I have confidence, and everything's cool.
that's
And
good.
I had
I
to
don't have
let
the
go of a lot of
confidence.
that YouTube shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, you know
yeah.
where your confidence comes from? First of all, knowing where price is going to go, support, resistance,
Hmm.
and secondly, um, having a plan, sticking to it, and knowing that it works. Where do you build that confidence? Back trading and journaling. That's
Hmm.
it. Plain and simple. That's it. That's the only place you can get it. The reason I'm so good within a year is because I back trade like an insane amount.
Hmm.
Not any, I really don't anymore, honestly. Like I don't even back trade that much.
But when
But
you were first
like,
starting, right, you
yeah.
needed it.
Well, when
Yeah.
I was first starting, I didn't back trade at all. That's why I kept getting hosed. And then I was like, God damn, like I was like, I cannot lose any more money. If I lose any
Hmm.
more money, I'm gonna have to get a job. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to like I can't pay like it's too much stress. If I lose another dime,
Yeah.
like it's just I can't do it. I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to get proficient. I need to get to a level. Like, dude, I quit my job and sold my house and every one of my possessions to fund my trading account, and then I
Hmm.
nuked it all. Like
Ouch.
all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost all of it. I have enough. I had enough to like
To get by.
still be able to like grow it slowly and like be able to pay my bills for the most part, and like yeah. So um dude,
It's
I get it.
funny because I think you're the first person I talked to who is actually almost like a parallel experience. Like everybody, yeah, yeah, okay, you quit their job, they learn, they study, but then, like at least the learning path sounds very similar, right?
Yeah, dude.
Because like it seems like the videos that I watch, you probably watch them
Yep, I was
too.
in all the Discord rooms, like watching like
Yeah,
people trade on the 1 minute chart. Yeah,
yeah.
dude. It looks really cool. And dude, if
So,
you have $1 million account, I'm sure it's pretty easy to make 10K a day, like on the same setups. Like because
hmm,
they're risking, like they only have to risk a teensy little tiny bit of their account.
hmm,
And not only that, but like, dude, they're specialists. Like in the same way that I know how these tickers move, They know
Hmm.
how like penny stocks move, and they have enough money to literally create volume bars and influence the price action of a ticker on a 1 minute chart. Like that's a real thing. When
Yeah.
you have that much money and you're day trading penny stocks like that, you can move the ticker. And if
Yeah.
you're in a Discord channel with people that are moving the ticker and you get in at the right time and you follow them exactly, sure, you can make money. It's not the
Hmm.
same thing as analyzing the technicals of a chart. Any chart you click on at any given time with your plan and knowing exactly what to do. It's
Mm.
not the same.
Yeah, it's kind of nice hearing it from you too, because it's like, okay, like, like there is like the right way, and like there's like a sight, a goal in mind, or like from like I'm 5 months in, you're like 6 7 months ahead of me, and if I can get there in 6 7 months, like that's great. Like damn, I'd be more than happy to be as proficient as you were, right? So
Thanks,
it's
dude. I take that
yeah,
as a
it's
huge
nice.
compliment.
Yeah,
Because,
it
dude,
is.
honestly, it wasn't long ago, like months ago, where I was still hemorrhaging money
Hmm.
because I had all this different stuff in my head, but I just hadn't found a way to make it click. Didn't find a way to make it all click.
And did you
And
feel
like
like
I
it was
was
really close? Like, oh, almost there. Like, almost got it. Almost got
every
it.
day, dude,
Yeah,
every day I'd
yeah,
be like, no, I got it today. Today's the day. And then
yeah.
post. No, I got it today. Post.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude. And then I'd make like 2 hours and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm back. Post the next
Yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah. So,
Hold on 1 sec. Let me switch my headphones over.
sure. So yeah, it's really reassuring.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
I
so
keep
what?
interrupting, but
No,
yeah, like,
dude. And I'm yeah, please. Anytime you want to talk, anything you have to say, get it out there. Let's do it.
yeah, I just love what we're doing, because like not only are you gonna help me with the technical, like at least like an emotional and like psychological level, it helps a lot too. Or like, oh, okay, like so I wasn't the only idiot who like just had like we take the time, we put so much effort into learning and try to learn as much as we can, but then like you're not getting the results, right? And that really was like a big like emotional killer for me.
Yeah.
um until I kind of like found RLT, right? I knew I had to learn
Me
about
too.
price
That helped a
action.
lot for me too.
I knew I need to learn price action, right? The psychology behind it. I also knew I need to learn about volume, right? Those are the key things. And then I came across Jeremy's video, and then I didn't want to join any groups because I've heard about those horror stories of pump and dump, and uh,
Atlas Trading Discord.
I don't know about that one, but like, yeah, there's just so many, right? There's just
They're
so
all
so
dude, there's so
many.
many.
And
And
then
that's exactly what we're talking about. That moves, it's
yeah,
literally a pump and a dump. Yeah.
yeah. And then so I was like, okay, well, like I don't want to pay someone and then just get scammed. Like that's not my goal. So when I did the trial for RLT, I was like, oh, okay, like it's kind of nice. Like you get to see, how other people trade. And it's so different from all
Yeah.
the YouTube stuff. And so that's kind of why I signed on. But like, what was your path to RLT?
Um, so actually I was still doing the Discord thing. I was watching a live stream on Twitch of this dude day trading on the 1 minute chart.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was super pumped. I was like, I'm gonna make so much money, dude. Like, oh my God, like it's this easy. Just get in and get out like that, like
Mm-hmm.
scalping, like play around, look at the little. And yeah, it was like working well enough that I was like making enough money to, and not even real money, just like I was like using $100 R, but I was like winning enough that like, because it didn't matter. Like if I lost like $200, I wasn't like freaking out trying to make it back or anything like that. So it wasn't necessarily the same thing. But then I was in the chat of the live stream, and I was like, dude, I don't understand volume. Like, I don't get how this works. And this dude posted a video. It's honestly amazing, dude, like how lucky I've got in things, not just this, but like in other things I've tried to do in
Mm-hmm.
my life, and just got so lucky that like the best possible way to do it just like magically fell into my lap. But anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
so he posted that video about, I think I sent it to you, or maybe we talked about it, the how to properly interpret volume video that Jeremy did.
Well, that's the same video I saw, but then that's like but I didn't get it from you. I just, I needed
Oh,
to know
okay. That's just
volume,
the
and
one
there
you
was
saw.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's the same video that got. So our trading paths is exactly the same, or what?
Dude, that video
Yeah,
is that video blew my brain open, dude. Like
yeah,
it was
same.
so easy. It's like, dude, it's right because I had already read the book Volume Price Analysis,
Oh,
VPA by
Anna
Anna
Cooling.
Cooling. Yeah,
Yeah. So
exactly.
I hadn't read it yet, but it's on my list. But I've read a ton of books too,
Don't even
man.
bother. It doesn't matter. You don't need it
Really?
anymore. Yeah.
Oh shit.
If you've
Okay.
seen that video, dude, if you've seen that video, it doesn't matter. Now, the one caveat I'll say is like if you're position trading, you have a huge account and like the accumulation, distribution, and all that stuff,
Yeah, yeah. That's helpful.
there's still a lot of good stuff in there for that.
Okay.
Because like you can see the actual phases on a daily and weekly chart because they're
You
bigger
do.
and that's where big money's coming in.
But do you need to know the details, or do you just need to be able to recognize?
What do you mean? I mean, I guess it's the same thing.
Well, I mean, like it's kind of obvious, no? Like if it's kind of like near support level and it's
Yeah, it
going
is
side,
obvious.
it's
Yeah.
going sideways, it's accumulating when it decides to pop up its participation, and then there's a distribution after that, right? And then it
Yeah.
does the same thing, right?
That's
So
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
okay,
You
okay.
you
So
you pretty
don't
much got it. Yeah.
okay, don't waste the time on the book. Okay, gotcha. Thank
Dude,
you.
it's still no. I will say this. So the original one is that the one you're talking about? Or, because there's two. There's one that's a bunch of examples, and then there's the first one where it's like there's like a decent like two chapters that are just like her riffing on VPA and like what it means.
I
Have you read that?
no, I honestly haven't read it yet. Like I tried to start it, but then I like there's just so much material that I had to get through. So it's like on my like
Put
education
that one at
list.
the top. Put that one at the
Okay.
top, and let me know if it's the worked example because there's examples in the first one, but the second one is like literally all like mostly examples.
I
But
gotcha.
the first one it's worth a read because it kind of explains insiders and market makers and that kind of and it's like a good read. Like I still refer to it in my like it helped my general understanding of how the market works. And it was valuable for that reason. Like I still refer to it in
I
my
don't think
mind.
this is the only example. It does have examples in it, but I have the PDF. You want me to send it to you?
Um just tell me what it looks like. If you can see can you see the cover? Is it pink?
Yeah, it's pink and blue with a magnifying glass.
Oh wait, let me make sure. Yeah. That's the first one. Read that one.
Okay, okay,
Yep,
okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
So just honestly get through like the first couple chapters, like first chapter or two, because it's cool. There's like a nice history about like how people used to read ticker tape and like blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
oh, dude, I went down a level 2 rabbit hole. Oh, Jesus
Yeah, me
Christ,
too. Dude, me too. Oh my God. So I pay for this level 2 and like I use it and it's kind of nice. Like so I don't use it in the way like some of the other guys use it, but I do use it for like supply and demand. So like
dude,
when the
ignore it.
I think it
Resistance and
does help.
support. That's your supply and demand, dude.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't
It's
need it. Like the more shit you have going on in your chart, the worse you are.
yeah,
Like
that's fair.
I swear to God, dude, if you just understand volume, support, and resistance and sentiment, which is all it's the same thing because the way
Yeah.
it's moving within support and resistance, there's your sentiment. So like in the volume, there's your sentiment. Dude, that's literally like I use the RSI for confluence. And that's I haven't even used it that long. I just like it for this one particular strategy I do. And I use the EMAs. I use the 10 to 20 and the 105. The 105 just because it's easy to see like a nice purple line. And you can still see my chart, my screen, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I use this because it's nice to see like a nice little purple line, just as like a little more stable than the 10 and the 20. And I like the 10 and the 20, honestly, just to like see where momentum is like on a micro scale. But I mean, I don't even really like intraday. I don't even really care, dude. Like I'm already
I
out.
don't look at
I'm already made my money by this point.
Oh, that's so interesting. Like
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It just came out.
All good, man. Louder the better.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. No, but like I feel like you and I have a very similar at least like philosophy, or like at least like just kind of like the same direction. So I kind of
Oh,
like that.
dude,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
really
I
good.
mean, I think probably where that comes from is like a yearning for efficiency and simplicity, like understanding something at like the fundamental root level.
Yes.
So that I
being
always
clear.
have. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
What do they call that? First principles. Yeah.
I don't know, but that's how my brain's always worked. And then
Me too.
When I can't get it, like it really bugs me. Like that's why even up till now, the support and resistance lines, it's like, okay, like do I really understand it? And
Yeah, like
it's driving me
where the hell are
nuts.
they supposed to go? There's all these wicks. Like,
Yeah,
is this
yeah,
right or is it wrong? Like, what the
yeah,
hell? Yeah, dude, me too. I get it.
yeah. Cool, cool. Okay, sorry. I
Yeah.
know so
This
many
is more
tangents,
important than charts, dude. This is more important. Well,
right?
as important as charts.
Yeah, because I just feel like there's like more clarity for me at least. So this,
Hmm.
like whatever we've spoken up till now, I found it really beneficial. So thank you for that.
Awesome, dude, for sure. I mean, I love it too. I love it. I love knowing that, like, because dude, I know how frustrating it is to be like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
seeing so much shit. Why doesn't it work for me? Why does it work for everyone else but not
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
dude, honestly, I think a lot of the times, like, shit doesn't work or hadn't worked for me in the past is because like they'd have their own set of rules and their own tickers and their own stuff, and that was their thing. And like, so when I tried to apply it to different tickers and like different
Mhm.
market sentiment and like different levels of support, it just, I didn't understand. Like, there's certain stuff about another person's plan that you can't get until you try it yourself for a long ass time. And if it doesn't
Yeah,
work for you, it doesn't work for you.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I honestly think that some people ignore a lot of some of the fundamental stuff because something meets their plan in some way, like the 10 EMA strategy, for instance. If you just play the 10, do you know what that is? Have you heard about that?
I'm just assuming it bounces off and you buy on like
No.
sell.
So,
No.
so the 10 EMA strategy, as Jeremy taught it, it's a great strategy for momentum. Sometimes it's unbelievable. It's so good. But like for me, it's not enough. It's not like, I don't like just relying on like the move. Like it's not for me. First principles are volume, support, resistance, and candles. Like that for me tells me everything. So everything else from that is just confluence. So I don't like to rely on just the confluence without the fundamentals matching. So
Hmm.
do you know what Momo is? Have you heard of Momo, the Momo strategy?
Yeah, so it's just when the 10 crosses above the 20, right?
Right. So right now we're about to go Momo long right here. We're about to.
Yeah.
So like if you're playing Momo, as soon as this thing gets over here, you buy. Period. That's it. You buy the stock. I hate that because I don't want to buy the goddamn stock right here. It's a terrible
Yeah,
spot to
it's so
buy it.
high.
Yeah, it's well, not as yeah. I mean,
Well,
there's
like
just
it,
resistance. There's all this stuff.
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah, yeah.
buy it here. I would have bought it down here. That's where I wanted to buy it. I mean, I
Yeah,
wouldn't have, but if I was going to, that's where I would have bought it. But anyhow, so
yeah.
yeah, like, but dude, so the way that Momo works is over the course of 100 trades, arbitrarily just taking it and ignoring everything else, it works.
Well,
But
it's a
dude, that's
strategy, right? Yeah.
yeah, it works. Math is in its favor. It works on some on you have to back test it, and then if it works on your ticker, just trust it and do it. For me, that's not like, I mean, literally a robot can do that. That's why robots do that. That's why you have algos and stuff. I'm not a robot. I'm a person. I want to trade the chart. Like,
Mm,
or else I would just pay for an algo account. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to trade the chart. I think I'm better. I think I'm better than an algo. There's, for me, the nuance that a human brain can detect is not always, but for right now, better than what a computer can do. So once the computer's better, I'll give my money to the computer.
hmm.
But it's for me right now, once my emotions and my mind and my plan are all harnessed, I
Hmm.
cannot perform a computer. I guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's how
So
I feel too, actually. Like I feel like there's just like a tad edge on our end right now, but I feel like a computer can get there, and
yeah,
so eventually.
dude, it's interesting though, because I honestly believe, and I haven't thought about this a great deal, but I think that the market might be a haven. Like it might be one place where, because like think about it, it's so emotion driven, um, and the one Achilles heel of artificial life is it lacks emotion. So
Yeah.
could it ever really understand things the way that a human could in terms of understanding sentiment? Because right, at least right now,
Hmm.
and for the foreseeable future, barring any like major advances, like the Achilles heel of AI is not having the nuance of emotion and sentiment that a human does. An AI is 100% systematic. It it's an if then machine,
Yeah.
whereas a human has space for, well, if then in this particular, like there's so many fringe cases that a human mind can react to and detect that a computer just as of right now can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
And for the foreseeable future, I don't know that it, like, at least in our lifetime, I think we're going to be fine making money in the markets.
Well, I just hope we keep making money in the market, or at least
Me too, dude.
I start making money in the market. Let's put it
Dude,
that way.
one of my biggest fears about trading is like, oh my god, I finally got it, and then we just have some random ass event that just like wipes it out. Like,
Yeah.
then I have to like figure out. But dude, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't even know where we were. Okay, so what we were talking about was, yeah, so the 10 EMA strategy basically says that if price closes above the 10 EMA, you get in above the first bear candle that also closes above the 10 EMA. So like in this particular case, your entry would be your entry would be like this. And even this requires nuance, because some people will be like, okay, I'm arbitrarily going to put my stop on Facebook or AMD. I'll put it 1% away.
Yeah.
So I'll take a 1% stop on AMD. I mean, just throw an arbitrary number out there. That's how systematic they'll make it. Okay, I'll put this down here at 1%, and then I'll put my target at 1%. I'll do a 1 hour trade. Oh, and so in the 10 EMA strategy, as soon as you get a close back beneath the 10 EMA, you cancel it. And if you keep getting bear candles like this that come lower, you lower your entry. Yeah. So that's how the 10 EMA strategy works. So this is a perfect example of a computer can always do this better than me. Always. Yeah. Like if you just are programming in, put it 0.25% away or whatever, 1% away, and then get in like this. Like you can, that's so easy. A computer's always going to do better than you at that. So over the long term, the math is always going to work out. But the human edge is playing the sentiment and playing the nuance. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure how we got into this particular topic and where either of us were going here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Don't remember. Where were we?
Well, I don't remember, but I do have a question actually. So
go ahead, dude.
You brought up the really cool point. So it's so funny. I always thought an entry was above a candle. I never thought about it any other way until the first week when I was in the beginner room. I think Yates basically said, why don't you put your entry like below the hammer or of something? And I'm just like, what? Like, why? Why would I
be the trap?
Right? Yeah, exactly. And he's like, yeah, you can be the trap. I'm like, just like, the fuck's a trap? And then, so then that's when I started, like, it took me like 2 minutes to learn what a trap was, right? Like,
well, good for you if it only took that long.
Yeah, it's not like, well, I'll be honest, I put in a lot of work into this, and I'm sure you did when you started, right? Exactly. Still, because we I can tell that I want it as bad as you did back then. So
good, dude. I still want it. I want it worse. I want it worse now.
Exactly. And so like I understood it really quickly. And then I noticed, like, okay, well, not only can you put it under, because then you can either be the trap, or you can buy when everyone's stops are being hit. And I see that happen to me all the time too. Like, I get stopped out, fucking stock rebounds. You're just like, God damn it, like, what the hell? And then you try to get back in, and then you're already too late because it's made like half a move already for an hour, half an hour, and then like you're not gonna take half an hour because the RR sucks, and then it goes back the other way, and then you get stopped out again. So it's just like a constant pattern. I kept noticing it, but
chasing, dude, it's chasing.
Yeah. And the fact that you just told me that I can do it half the hammer, like,
well, dude, don't do it arbitrarily, right? So that's what we just talked.
Yeah, but it's just like, why didn't I think of this? Like, why did I have to be above, or why did I have to be below?
Someone showed it to you.
So like, how did you figure this out?
Because I started doing it and was like, well, what the my risk reward sucks up there.
Yeah,
but like the move, it's still gonna move. So why not just get in lower? Like, it almost always retests. So dude, this is a perfect example. This AMD is literally a perfect example. It could not be more perfect. Yeah. I mean, it could, but this for me is good enough. I'll consider this a 10 for me. For my strategy, this is a 10. It's not quite a 10 because I don't have any overhead resistance. I would like to have some idea of where it's going to go, and right now I have no clue. So
if you had pre-market, you would have like somewhat.
No, I don't look at pre-market. I don't look at extended hours. They're dead to me. I don't look at them. Never. It's too much. It's too much stuff. If sometimes I play it, sometimes I don't. No, I don't play it. I don't look at it. I used to made a lot of money that way. It's luck. Most of it. Maybe what I don't know. I don't even.
Well,
It's
I
not
do
worth
know
talking about.
I've noticed a lot. I don't have data to because I didn't write it down or track it, but like a lot of people do take pre-market highs as like a target, right? And a lot of people take the resistance points above that as also a target. So like it does make sense to me to at least know where it is. But anyway, it wouldn't have hit it either way. Like
It doesn't make sense to me. For me, it's like it's too much shit. It doesn't like it. It just it's not. I don't know. It's just too much. It doesn't make any sense to me. I can do it without it. So why do I need it? If I can do it without it, then I don't need it.
that's fair. But then how would you set a profit target? Like how would you know what it would be? It would be the high of
I
the
use
opening range.
that's why I said this is an attempt, because I don't have an idea of where the profit target is. So if I'm playing this, like if I'm playing, that's why when I set this up, it was like something like this, and
Yeah.
I just wanted an R. If I can get to an R, give me that shit, because I know it's gonna work. I know this is gonna work. I know it is. I mean, it's either gonna not work almost, but okay, I don't know it's gonna work. But
So why'd
okay,
you play it on the 2 minute too when normally you play
I
the 5?
didn't. I just am doing this because
Oh,
this
I
is the
see.
one you showed me today.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
I on the 5 it looked terrible. There was no move for me. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
gone in at all.
Ah,
So this could be the 1 hour. This could be whatever. Actually, no, it's more powerful on an intraday. But just imagine this is the 5.
right.
So you get a gap up. It sells off. So everybody in this volume, and also look at it because with all this volume, it looks different. But with just this volume, look at that. That's big volume, dude. It's a big
Yeah.
ass. Look at all this. Look at all this shit. It's bigger than that. And yeah, other people say, well, the opening range volume's big. Yeah, okay, but dude, like this is big relative to all this trading action that happened in here. That's a move.
Oh, fuck. You just gave me another
Blew
nugget.
blew your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
ever think about looking at it that way either. Like I just,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the opening range is big. It's always big volume. I mean, yeah, dude, but there's relative big and there's relative like yeah. So the opening range volume is usually always bigger than the volume of intraday, but like relative to other opening range volumes, there's big volume and small volume. So it's like, what's it relative to? And for me, looking at just this is all I need to see that this volume is big. Like that is big. I can see all this shit, and that's way bigger.
But
So
wouldn't it
that's
always be like that? Like, or sorry, not always, but like,
no, not
no.
always. We'll look at some. We'll go through a bunch.
Okay.
But yeah, and this is, I guess, where training your eye comes in and just back trading a shitload, because I can see right away that volume means something. That's big volume to me. Where
especially on a hammer, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
if this is just like some random ass candle and it's just whatever, and there's that volume, I don't care. But the fact that this like, I mean, look at this little inverse hammer. That's an inverse hammer, right? But look at the volume. It doesn't mean shit to me. There's hammers all over the place. They don't mean shit. I mean, look at this. That actually is not a terrible one. But no, now when I zoom in, it is. This one is significant to me. This one right here, I would consider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's still early in the day. That's still a decent amount of volume. There was a volume decline. Then I get this teensy tiny little candle with all this volume. Yeah, that's something I would look at. And there's resistance up here. Yeah, I would look at that. But the fact is, it's already 10:02. I'm already done for the day. I'm either in a trade or I'm done. I wouldn't take this shit up here. And all the EMAs, because also look, all the EMAs now caught up. If you get that candle here, the EMAs are still all the way down here. So I still have
a shorting opportunity.
I still have all this room to make an R somewhere. If I put this up here, and I mean, like you have to use your imagination. Say this is like some kind of just tiny little candle. I mean, say it's smaller than both these candles. Okay, and so say this candle stops here. This wick stops right here. It doesn't exist anymore. And I get this volume. Actually, I would still be waiting for like a little bit bigger of a volume. I'd probably let one more candle go. Yeah, I want like, I'll show you that. So you see how there's like a little pause and then that bigger volume comes in. So imagine none of these red candles happen, but you see this candle with like noticeably bigger volume than these other candles. And I'll show you some examples.
It's like the exhaustion, or like, well, depending what candle it is, but
I don't even give a shit. I don't think about it as an exhaustion. I don't think about it as anything other than all that needs to happen for me to make an R is I'm actually just going to go show you a good example so that we don't have to use our imagination. Let me see my journal. I'll show you one I just took recently.
Sure. Wait, while you look, do you mind if I just run to the bathroom real quick?
No, I actually have to too.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm gonna make some coffee. So
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
let's take like a 5-minute break or something or whatever.
Sounds
Just when
good.
you get back, I'll be right back too.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Cool.
What's the matter, pupper?
All right, I'm back. Are you here?
Hey,
What's up, man? I just got back myself.
nice. Are you at home or?
No, I'm in grocery store like cafe, Giant Eagle.
Oh,
That's
that's
what it's
so
called.
nice. Let's
Yeah,
isn't it great? You get to trade from anywhere you want.
dude, it's the best. Well, I would prefer to like if I had like I'd like a nice mellow office. But dude, yeah, here's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these are goals,
Mm-hmm.
goals. But yeah, I
We'll
like it
we'll
here. It's
get
pretty
there,
sweet.
man. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
well, dude. But to your point, like I'm gonna be going to Vermont next weekend with my girlfriend. I
Yeah,
probably won't trade, but if I wanted to,
you could, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
dude, especially with my strategy, dude, it's 10, 15, 20 minutes. Like wake up at 9:30, dude, trade real quick. And if there's nothing there, I don't trade. If there's something there, I take it. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's the best. Okay, let me see which setup this was. I think it was.
So while you're looking, you remember you told me like this other trade I took a while ago, and then I also posted for a review, and you said like oh like I could have made like 10 hours on that trade, and then you said well whatever you take 2 hours and run with it, and so like my greedy brain is telling me like well fuck I could make 10 hours, like if I just held it, it didn't buy it. But like obviously it could have easily gone the other way and I could have made zero too, or worse, I
Or
lost,
lost.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And so the problem is like because my R is so small, because I'm, still trying to get the grasp of things,
Mhm.
it just feels like, well, like the R is so insignificant, if I take 1 hour or 2 hours like every day, it's so small. Like, what's the point? So anytime I get like in my head, it's like I always want more R's, right?
It's the
Um,
scale, dude.
yeah, so if I was thinking like, well, if I have like a $1,000 R, then it's not insignificant anymore, right? Like at least it's like, 1 hour is $1,000. You can make a
Dude,
thousand
yeah,
dollars a day, right?
exactly. In six
And
minutes. In 10
exactly.
minutes.
So like if and you're right, like if you learn how to trade properly and have high probabilities of like it doesn't matter, 1 hour, 2 hours, like yeah, it just depends on how much you're like willing to risk, right?
Yeah, bro.
But
That's
I
cash
think
flow.
like in my head it's still like I get it, I understand it. It's just like my heart still has a hard time accepting it.
Yeah,
uh, right? And so like yeah, I have $100 R. Okay, great. I'm like, I don't want to just end at $100. Like I want to make it like $600, like a 6 hour, right? Like it's just like I know I've been
exactly. 100%.
battling with the greed, right? And so
Well,
that's
dude,
why,
it's perfectly natural. What you're saying is literally like you already understand. Like
yeah,
you don't need like it comes with confidence. It comes with
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
if I make three, like okay, I'm gonna raise my R. I'm gonna make my R enough to live off of. If I just
Mm-hmm,
get 10 R a month, that's plenty for me to live off of. I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna trust myself with that R. But I'm only gonna take trades that are literally
yeah,
like there's no the chances I lose on this trade, a full R, are
yeah.
so unlikely
Mm-hmm,
because the way I'm going to show you to set up your stops, if a trade doesn't work, you can still get out break even almost all the time. Like
mm-hmm,
something has to really happen for you to lose a
mm-hmm,
full R. Like
mm-hmm,
it's not easy to lose a full R. It's
mm-hmm.
sometimes not that easy to make two R's, but that's why I'm like, dude, if I get an R, I'm cool. Like
Yeah,
if I get an R in 10 minutes, I'm cool.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'll show you a couple setups. Let me see if the CCL trade I took today ended up working for more than an R. It could have.
So yesterday I got all emotional again because I kept thinking a
Woo! It would have
stop was gonna
worked.
reverse. Oh, nice, good job.
I didn't. Damn, I'm pissed. Oh, this is the 2 minute. No wonder it looks so weird. Oh, that was a nice trade though. Okay. No. Okay, I would have been stopped out anyways.
I see.
I was gonna move my stop to right here, and then this
Mm-hmm,
other move happened, and
mm-hmm.
then yeah. So I would have got stopped out, but it would have worked if I would have held. But this is the type. This is why I lose small because as soon as this thing worked for zero point 0.8 in 5 minutes, and I didn't take it, it didn't work for a full R, then I'm out. Like whatever, cool. I'm not going to lose money on the trade. I will not lose money on the
Yeah.
trade.
So what you
If it
did
just worked
was,
for an R and I didn't get it, and if I lose, I'm not going to lose $1.
so are you trailing your stop super hard? Like as soon as the trade works, you put it down to the previous pivot, and then and then as it gets close to hitting your
Oops.
1 hour, you just move your stop up below.
So the way that I played this trade, okay.
Yes,
So
today.
this is today. This was today.
Yeah.
So let's see what I do. Okay, so this came in. This is looking good. It's a big, nice volume here. I think I might already got in on this candle, maybe the next candle. If I don't get triggered on the next candle, then it was this candle. But what I saw is the same either way. So this big volume comes in, SPY's kind of selling off. We're due for a pullback. My swings are already getting hit. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing really under this. So we're in a downtrend already. I have all these moving averages up here. Here's a nice resistance. Here's a nice resistance. Like all this shit's resistance. Like this is a strong level of resistance. Like this is strong. Anywhere in here, anywhere from, like, I would say don't really care about these because, like, I mean, just think about it as like a line. Like, look at all this shit around here. Like over here, like over here. Like this is all touching, but then you have to keep in mind this is a lower low. So like, okay, this is gonna hit first, and then this is the second layer, and then this is the third layer, but they're all kind of in this little zone. So like, does that make sense what I'm saying about that?
It does, but then like for me, I think I would have looked at those lower wicks there too, and I would have two lines essentially. You
Yeah,
know what I
just
mean?
ignore all that shit. You don't need them. You don't need
Okay,
it.
cool.
Just ignore it. This is where if you know if price reclaims this level, then this will now become a support. That's just like if it
Yeah.
comes up over top of this, your trade's not going to work. Which is why, so I'll show you. So think of this as all stop protection. So in a case like this, where I mean, it would have to get up through this, and then still I could still get a wick up into this stuff. And I'm still, if I'm all the way up here, and price hits this, then the trade's not going to work.
Yeah.
Or I got wicked out on some BS and it was close, but it's just whatever it is what it is. And then it goes on to work and I just got unlucky, whatever. But if price comes up here, like you could get a wick through any of this stuff. You could get a wick here, you get a wick here, like all this stuff. But do you see how this is here, this is here, this is here, this stuff is all here? Like this is the next level.
Mm-hmm.
See, like anything, like all this stuff in here, like if you were going to draw the line, this is all hitting here, this is hitting here, this little pivot, this is hitting here, this little consolidation, this little pivot here, this little pause, this stuff right here. So this is the line of the support, or the resistance, I should say. So I'm just going to put my stop, and I don't ever draw this line. This is like when I do my actual thing, I just go like this. And I'll put my entry. I want to get triggered in around here, somewhere like this. Put my stop somewhere just a little bit above that. And then look at this. Okay, my entry is perfect. I'm gonna get in on a pullback, and I'm already at 1 hour. I don't even need to make a new low a day. I don't even need to make a new low of day, and I'll hit 1.21 Rs. I don't even need to make a new low. Yeah, okay. So I got triggered in on that. It was like a penny off. In real life, I got triggered in.
But why is your entry there is what I don't understand. Like, why would
Because
it not be at the resistance? Or
I want to see what's going to happen. Like once I see this, I'm like, okay, this is a nice healthy pullback. It's not just going to immediately go. And if it does, cool, I missed it, whatever. But I'd rather have a chance to get in. Like I would like to see one candle that's doing what I think it's going to do, and then I still get in. I missed this by a penny, but in real life I got in. So I missed it by 1 penny. That's how dialed in this shit is.
So here's the question. There's people trapped, right? Like from that high wave on the second candle.
I don't think about it that way. No, I don't think about it that way. I don't think about it that way. No. This for me is a continuation pattern. No one's trapped. I mean, maybe people are trapped, but that's not what's going to drive price down. Price isn't move. I'll show you what a trap looks like. I'll show you what that movement looks like. This isn't, for me, I don't think of this as a trap. I just think, okay, we're in a downtrend. Here's the pullback. It's going to go lower. There's nothing stopping it. So it's going to go lower. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. And then so for your entry, like why is it there? Like I know it needs to pull back, but like how did you decide that it wasn't going to be halfway through that high wave that
You
you
could have put it
had?
here. Could have put it right there. Could have put it. I mean, I'm sure I did put it there because in real life I got triggered in, so I put it somewhere around here.
I see.
I'm putting it somewhere in between. So this is our first
Resistance.
level, right?
Yeah,
This is our
yeah.
first level of resistance. Like I
Yeah.
don't want it to get through this. If it gets through this, it could still work, but
Hmm.
but it's really, if it's
It
gonna work
really
the way I want
shouldn't.
it to,
Yeah.
I don't really want it to.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless
yeah.
I would have got in, like if this were like a big nice inverted hammer, I'd be pumped if I got wicked in on that. But it's unlikely. Like I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
I'd rather it not have the strength to get up here and poke
Yeah,
through
yeah.
this.
Because if it did, that would mean the bulls had more strength than you thought.
Yeah, and I mean, if it turns out that they get trapped and it's a nice trapping candle, cool. But like, I'm not going to take that chance. Then I'm just arbitrarily putting a line here. And could it work? Sure, but I want more. I want more confidence. That's not
Yeah.
enough for me. I don't like to just put an entry out there and maybe I get triggered and maybe I don't. I want to see something. So
Yeah.
for me, I see this dip. I don't see any ridiculous volume down here telling me that we're going to get a hammer and it's going to reverse and rampage. I don't see that. I see
So
there's
here's a
more shit.
question.
Go ahead.
With that high wave, if there was more volume, then would you still have taken the trade?
No, probably not.
Yeah, because it was low volume. That's why. Hey.
Yeah, the volume
Okay.
isn't telling me anything. So if it doesn't tell me anything, I don't need to listen to it. I don't need to pay attention to it.
Yeah. But if it's
I mean,
high, then you probably wouldn't have taken the trade, right? Because then
if this
it
volume was
closes above.
enormous,
Yeah, and then it
I don't
closed
know.
above.
I
No.
don't know. I don't know. That would be weird. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably leave it alone because that would be weird.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It just doesn't make any sense for there to be huge volume on the second candle and it's a high wave. It just doesn't make sense. That would be weird. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably leave it alone. But think about it this way. What needs to happen for price to come all the way up here and stop me out?
It would have to, wick up there at
The
least,
short
right?
answer is a ton of shit. It would need to punch through all this. It would
Oh,
need to
I
punch through
see.
this. It would need to punch through this. It would need to do a ton of shit. After
Mm,
all this bare volume just came in, it would need to take all that out
mm,
and push through all this shit and curl the moving averages. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It would, and this
mm,
whole trend is already down. It
mm-hmm,
would just take so much more effort for it to do
mm,
that than to just fall. What's stopping it?
mm-hmm.
What's down here?
Nothing.
like what's down here? There's nothing in its way, and there's everything in its way the other direction. And
And because,
I don't even need to make a new low. I don't even
yeah,
need a new low.
that makes sense. And then because you're not looking at the daily levels from
Give a
the
shit what
past,
that
it
daily
doesn't
chart's
matter.
doing. No,
Yeah, yeah. All right,
I don't
cool,
give a
cool.
shit because everything on a daily chart makes sense. So you get some random ass weird candle that throws everything off. Where's that candle made? On the 5-minute. It doesn't show up on the daily till the day's over.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
So okay. So just like I showed you that hammer on AMD, let's open this other tab. Just like I showed you on this 2-minute hammer, how I just put it like
Halfway in the wick.
just somewhere around there. So I put it like, so here, same deal. Look what would have to happen for price to, I mean, actually that's why I wouldn't have taken this on a 5 because it didn't look this pretty. But on a 2-minute, yeah, I'm taking this shit. But there's nothing in its way overhead. I mean, other than the sentiment of an all-time high. But let's just ignore that. Let's just pretend this is any old ticker on any old. Say this isn't an all-time high, but it's just been like a month or 2 months or something. So we don't actually see it unless we like zoom all the way out. And I'm zoomed all the way out and I don't see it. So like for all intents and purposes, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So the same way, like see how there's like levels. So like here's level 1. I mean, you could even count this wick as a level. I wouldn't, but you can. And then like you have to get down to here and you see how there's like another little pivot like here. And then you have like this stuff. That's the top of it. And then where does that meet some other stuff here? And then you still have this little thing over here. Oops. So like there's little levels. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not big, they're not crazy, but price moves here. They're pivots. Like
Mm-hmm.
stuff's happening here. I wouldn't call any of these particularly strong. I would say your strong support is down here. Maybe in this area, like this whole little zone here.
Yeah.
There's where I'm expecting a legit bounce. So any of this shit, I'm not looking for like If price does make a move down, this ain't gonna stop it. None of this shit's gonna stop it. But on a wick, on an intraday wick, okay, maybe. If it's trying to make a move higher, yeah, this stuff could stop it. And the fact is, if it doesn't stop right here, I'm either going to get some weird wick, which would be weird. I mean, think about this hammer with that volume, and then another weird ass hammer with that. Like, it's uncommon. You don't see that really. I mean, it happens, but like, I don't know. It's not that common. So I'm thinking that, okay, that's my stop protection. So if I do get some kind of weird wick, it's probably not going to go all the way down here, because that kind of shifts the sentiment, especially after this volume comes in.
That's good,
In
because
my
that's how I recognized it too. That's like
Mhm.
that's why I put my stop there too.
Awesome.
The only difference is the entry, because I didn't care what candle it was. You
just threw it there. Yeah,
I
I
threw
get
it
it.
there. Yeah. It's almost like playing the trap, but not really.
Well,
It's
that's not
like
really the trap. What
it's
you're
not.
playing there is support and resistance. That's what you're
Yeah.
playing. But for
Yeah.
me, this isn't strong enough.
Right.
I mean, it's cool. Like, it becomes really strong with the hammer, but just by
Yes.
itself, that's not. I mean, I think just by itself, this would be, if this fails, this would be a place where I'd be looking for it to slow down. But if this fails, this ain't gonna stop it.
Mm,
But on a gap up retest, that's perfectly fine. That's golden with us. But dude, when that hammer comes in, that's the thing.
I see.
Like, that is the deal. So with that volume, if the volume was like this, I don't give a shit about that hammer. It doesn't mean anything. I just don't touch it for the day. I won't play it. If I get a great hammer, like, it's not a great hammer unless it comes with all the other stuff. If it's just a hammer, hammers are a dime a dozen. They don't mean shit.
Yeah, but it has to have volume.
It has to have volume. It has to be in the right place. It needs to have, yeah.
By place, you mean close to support, right?
Support, yeah. Like,
or
so this
resistance
is what happened. This thing gapped up.
Yeah.
And then it failed with huge bear volume at an all-time high. So everybody's like, this thing ain't gonna make it. Let's push this shit back down to the next level of strong support, which is like somewhere down here. So once they see all this, and I don't know, this is how I think of it. It may or may not be true, but it doesn't matter because it works. So everybody was like, okay, this shit isn't gonna work. Either that or they took profits. But either way, somebody stepped up. Somebody sold here. So somebody sold to open down here because they saw this candle and they were like, oh yeah, baby, this shit. Or maybe they're playing like a 1 minute and there was some room I don't know. But the way I think of it is, this candle comes in, they're like, okay, we're gonna fail up here. This isn't gonna work. Let's push it down. All we need to do is break through here. And once we break through here, we have all this room to run to now. So that's probably the way they're seeing it, because that's good risk reward. I mean, kind of. When you get something like, so think you can put your stop like say you can put your stop somewhere here. You get in, I don't know, somewhere here. I mean, that's okay. You can make money on that. You can do something like that. I wouldn't play that, but you could. So that's something that's not unreasonable to think that somebody might try to do.
Yeah.
They're not a very good trader, but they might try to do that. Yeah. And then it could work if they get enough bears to rally behind them. But like this particular case, when you get this hammer, now you're saying, okay, everybody that was trying to do that is not going to work. Like, this speaks for itself. They tried and immediately it didn't work. So now it could very well just rampage out of here. But when I see a hammer like this, especially with a long body, there's going to be probably people that obviously that bought down here and now they want to take a little profit because this is a pretty big move.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's huge. Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't call it huge, but it's big. I mean, it's enough
that's
that
almost
there
an
should
R,
be,
man. If you
exactly. It's big enough. Like, nobody's taking profits on this shit. But exactly, to your point, that's big enough where somebody could take some profit.
Well, that's why I took 1R and then I took the 2R, because I didn't know if it's going to continue any further, right? It could easily roll over too.
Exactly, 100%. But the beautiful thing about hammers like this, or since there's going to be probably some profit taking, you know that by the long wick, then why would I get in up here? Why would I get in here? If all these buyers just push this thing all the way up here, I want them to take a little profit. I want them to rest so that they come back stronger. So this wick right here, I can't say I'm ignoring that, because I'm not. I mean, to me, this just looks beautiful. Like this wick
Mhm.
here and this wick here and this support right here. Like, yeah. And it's like kind of in the halfway point. I mean, that's too pretty not to take. So yeah, I'm setting it up something like this. And I'm not even consciously doing it. I'm like, that looks like a good spot for me. And then I'll put my stop down here. I always go a little, just a teensy tiny little bit farther than this line where I drew my support. That might even be a little much. I'll put it right there.
So
And
Lance, I have a
then
question about your support and resistance again. So you see that big fat wick, the
this
high?
one,
Yeah. So you wouldn't have put like like a support resistance line there, would you?
hell no. I don't give a shit about that
Because
wick.
you care more about
It was
the collective of the
3:56 in the
yeah.
afternoon. Who the hell? Nobody. This is nothing.
I see.
3:56 in the afternoon doesn't mean
So would
shit,
it be safer to
especially
say
on a
like where the
2-minute chart.
consolidation is kind of a bit better?
To put an entry down here.
Well, not the entry, but like a support resistance
Oh,
line.
absolutely. I mean, look where I drew it. That wick doesn't mean. I mean, so the wick is nice. It's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. Like
I see.
I'm happier the wick's there than it not being there. Like
Yeah.
I like it better, but I don't need it.
So would
Honestly, I do
you?
kind of like that wick. I'm not gonna lie, but I wouldn't draw my
Mhm.
line there. It's just confluence. It just makes me feel more confident.
I see. Because that's where I put my entry because I was like, okay, that's like a support.
And dude,
Because there's a wick.
that's why I'm putting my entry there too. If that wick wasn't there, I mean, I'd probably put it in exactly the same place, but now I feel even better putting it there. Does that make sense?
Mm,
Like this just adds a little sweetness to the pot. This just makes the trade that much prettier to me.
I
The fact that
see.
this perfect entry point, like this thing was carved by the gods. Look at this. Just boop boop, and then the hammer's right in the middle of that. Like, come on, you got to take that with the vault, dude. You have to take it. But am I going to get greedy and say, okay, I want 4 R's? Like, I mean, dude, 2 R's up here. Even if it works for 2 R's, even if it works, it's going to take longer than 10 minutes. It's going to need to come up here. It's going to need to retest. It's going to need to do some of this shit. All over the place. Probably most of the time.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can get an R and some change, because it can make it up to here in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand this whole volume, all of this whole thing, the minute that price goes above this, everyone's losing money. Everyone in here.
Yeah.
So in order to just to cover their loss, if everyone in this wick covers their loss, price is going to go that high. Just for them to cover. I'm already at 1 R. I'm already at 1 R. I'm already at 1.3. I'm not making a new high. I'm not even getting all these people out. These people aren't even covering. And I'm at 1.3 R's. I don't need to make a new high. I don't need to make a new high to get to 1.3. Bro, there's your retest. There's your rest. I'm out, dude. I'm out. Every time. Could I have gotten 1.6, 1.7, 0.72? Sure could have. If you want to hope for 1.5, be my guest. But I'm putting my shit. This is part of that thing. It just comes with experience. The price gets up here, it's good enough for me. The size of the move. I don't even think about ours. If price gets up there, that's good enough for me. Suki, come back here. Sorry, my dog.
Oh, you can have your dog with you? That's awesome.
She's a service dog.
I see.
Yeah,
I have a
cool.
golden that's napping on my couch right now.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So honestly, this move's still bullish. You can still get in bullish on here. You can still get in long. I wouldn't, but a bullish entry might be a retest. And now you can use this. Now you can use it because it proved itself. So let's see if something like this will work.
It doesn't.
But you could have got out break even.
How so? How would you plead your stops?
My stop's already down here. Okay. So
yeah. So that's close to losing.
But look where it is. This proved itself already. So first of all, I would never have played. I just don't play these because for me, the move's over. That's all I wanted. especially okay. So another thing, if I see this fucking thing come in
Yeah,
here
yeah, yeah.
with that
Goodbye.
volume, no
Yeah,
way I'm going
yeah,
long.
yeah.
Not a
Goodbye.
chance. The only reason I'm not shorting is because I don't have resistance to use as a reference point to set something like this up. I
Yeah.
want to be able to do this.
Uh,
I want to know what's protecting my stop. So if I don't have any resistance, what's stopping this thing from going to $10 million per share? Not a goddamn thing. Nothing but air. Is it going to do that? No. Is
mhm,
RSI already super extended and it made a double top? Yes.
mhm,
Could I
mhm,
take the trade short confidently with this volume and get in somewhere? Same thing. Set my entry up somewhere near the middle of this wick. Give myself a little breathing room and go down to an R to retest this.
mm,
Of course, sure.
mhm,
Why not? It's a great trade.
mhm,
But I already made my
mhm.
money. I'm done. I already made
Yeah.
my money. And for me, my own rules, I'm not taking it without resistance. I want to be able to protect my stop with confidence. I don't want to just throw it up somewhere in the middle of nowhere and have no idea what's going to happen, because this thing gets taken out, baby, we're ripping.
Yeah. It's
So
also I would never take a all-time high
yeah,
short. Yeah.
well, I'm not necessarily against that,
Mm.
but
Well, that's my rule, right? So.
mine too. It's mine too. On yeah, I don't know why I said I'm not against it, because I wouldn't do it, but like I don't know. Like say that we're like, okay, so here's an example where I would do that. If there's like five, six big ass bull candles in a row,
Yeah.
and then I get something like this, okay, I'll short it. I'll
Mhm.
short it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not sure. Like this, there's already been a rest. There's already been this. It got up here. It's weak. All this volume, it barely got above that. It wicked above that. So the sellers that were here are now, they've been able to, okay, we're doubling down. We haven't been stopped out. Let's do it again. Or new shorts are getting in. Now bulls are trapped. Now everyone that bought up here is trapped. So I know
Ah.
price is going to go at least down to here, and look where
Yeah.
it went before it. But so say I'm a new trader and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Well, if I don't know what I'm doing, I probably wouldn't have gotten into this trade in the first place. But the point is, you can still, because your stop is protected, because of adequate stop and entry placement and realistic expectations for targets, which allows you to place your stop and entry in the right place, because it all works together. You don't just throw up a 2R, like the 2R target comes from where you put your stop and your entry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyhow, because my stop was placed well, I know now, okay, the trade's not going to work. And after this comes in, at this point, what do I think it's going to come back up here? Not a chance. No chance. So at this point, once it gets down past my entry and this move happened, I am looking to get out for as small a loss as possible. So the minute that thing even hits my break even, I'm out. And in
Mhm.
this trade, it would have been, what did we say? Like this would have been, yeah, you're using that as the retest. You're stopped below this wick. So once I see this, I'm never getting into it. But let's just imagine that this was, say the volume didn't spike and it wasn't an inverse hammer. We just got like a normal bull candle and it just started creeping down like that. And you got this candle that blasted through my entry and came down here and wicked like that.
Mhm.
That for me, this is a gift. This is a gift from the trading gods that say, okay, you got lucky. You didn't get stopped out by 2 pennies.
But
Now,
you should exit, right?
don't be greedy and just get out. Like if you can not lose on this trade, that's a win, because you were already wrong. Because it
Mm.
should have bounced here. Should have bounced
Yeah.
here.
It
That
should
was
have.
your retest.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't. It should have held these MAs. It should have, like, I mean, look at this. I mean, pretend that that's not an inverse hammer. The EMAs now are right here on this where that trap was. That's your retest. So if this thing doesn't immediately bounce,
Yeah.
why are you in? Especially after this thing, why are you
Yeah.
still in?
So
Like honestly, yeah, why are you in?
so that that big fat red candle, the second one.
This one?
Yeah. So in my head, it registered as a signal, but it didn't register. Like obviously I didn't take the trade, but I was watching the price action, right? So I was like, oh shit, okay, that looks weak, right? Like it just plummeted. But it like it registered as a signal, but it didn't register as like okay, get the F out signal. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
where did you get out? I thought you got out for
No, no,
like
no, no.
point 0.7.
I didn't take the trade. I didn't take the reverse trade, but like or like if I was thinking
Oh, so
about
you
like
mean if you were in short, this would be a signal to get out?
no, 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 no. If I was in long, let's say Um, I was thinking like, okay, if it retests like the 10 EMA and throws in a hammer, then I could take the hammer above and then it might carry on higher and like take a second trade,
Oh, I see.
right?
I see.
Right. But then because it plummeted like that, then I was like, okay, it's out of the question.
Yeah.
But for me, it would have been like, I don't know if it would have been a strong enough. Like I wasn't gonna take the trade either way because my rule is like, okay, I'm up, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
But
Which is a
for
great roll, by the way. Amazing
yeah,
roll.
yeah, because I've gone green to red too many times. Um, but anyway, what I was thinking was like I was planning like paper trades right afterwards. So I was like, okay, well, I'm expecting an S curve here and then to bounce back up, but that green inverse hammer kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then that huge dump on that red candle also kind of was like, So I didn't take the trade, like paper trade.
Yeah.
But I know it's like a signal that's like, bears are more in charge, but in my
Yeah.
head, like it wasn't strong enough to be like if I was still in the trade, my initial trade, like it wouldn't have been like a good enough signal for me to get out. Like that's the problem.
Yeah, dude, you could hold through that. I mean, that's not the end of the world. It is with this. With this, it's the end of the world. When you
See,
have
okay, I,
this
I
and
didn't recognize that. Yeah,
that
like
is
I didn't
the
recognize
end
that.
of the world. Like you're done. It's not going to go higher than that.
Okay,
I mean,
but
it might, but
if that
it's probably
happened,
not.
if that happened and then it bounced on the 10 like an S,
This happened and it
yeah,
bounced here.
yeah, would
Still out. Never
still
taking that.
out
No way. Dude,
because
look
that
at that.
mm,
Everyone is trapped. That is so strong, dude. I'm not touching this thing for a day at least.
mm,
No chance. Look at that thing. Everyone was like, yes, it's going to go higher. Immediately. No, it's not. You just got hosed.
mm, okay.
Like, and dude, remember we talked about the opening range? How much more do you want?
Yeah, that's
This is the
true.
opening range. It's
Yeah,
done. This was
it
a
took.
wick. Look at that volume. This was a wick. Look at that volume. It's done. This is the move for the day.
I see. So it just
Anything
took
else
way
would
too
be a
much.
bonus.
It took way too much to get there. Hey.
Where?
Well,
Back
back
up
to
here?
yeah, back up there. It just took
Dude,
way too much
no
effort.
way. Yeah, it's not going back up there. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it's the day.
So
It's not.
here's a
It's going to
trade I
take a
kind
while.
of I want to go through with you. Johnny took this as an official. It's the INTC, Intel. So
On
I
the
wouldn't have
5
taken, yeah, on the 5. I wouldn't have taken this trade.
today.
Yeah, he took it official today, and I wouldn't have taken it. I was gonna paper do it, and then I forgot to change my account, so I actually got in. So I was like, oh, I'll just get out in the car. So yeah, like it was kind of an accident because I was like, I was done. Anyway, so he took it. Fuck, where did he take it? Let's pull up his thing real quick. Official day trades.
Well, before you even do that, let me tell you what I see.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I am not touching this thing.
For fade or for
I'm not touching it, dude. Period. Not touching it. Where's my
see.
edge? Where is my edge? I don't have one. It's just gap below everything. I have no support. I mean, I don't even scroll back this far. I never go back that far.
So if it's
Like
not within the few days range, you're not gonna even play it.
Generally, no. A gap of this magnitude. Okay, let's look at our options. Is it going to go lower? Why would it? It already just massacred. It just massacred.
Yeah.
So it could go lower, sure.
But it already went so much lower. Like
yeah, it already went so much lower. Like, dude, if I was in on this move, that's like 30, that's like 20 Rs. Like, I don't,
yeah.
How much more do you want? Like, the gap is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it might only be a few percent, but if you're trading the 5-minute chart, that is huge. Look at because think about it. Let's just say that you and I, we trade the 5-minute chart. That's what we do. That's what I do. So when I see this thing, literally everything that I've been trading for 2 weeks now means absolutely nothing. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. We need a total reset of all the sentiment. Everything starts from now. Everything starts from now. So now this is a brand new start. None of this shit matters. It's all, just ignore it. Doesn't matter. It's gone. Doesn't matter. I mean, it does. We'll get there though.
it will matter when now we see what the hell is going to happen and how the next few days fits in with all this shit. And then once we get out a few days, we can say, okay, now we see how the gap is unfolding. We can see how to play this thing. But right now, I mean, where the hell is my edge? What am I going to go short? If I'm going to go short, I want to go short here or something like that. But I don't feel comfortable having my stop
so much.
Yeah. Why? And even if I short it, or I want to put my stop here. Why in the hell? Yeah, because look at the size of this gap. the movement of this move on a normal day, on a normal 5-minute day, this is a pretty big stop. On a normal 5-minute day, this stop's too big, way too big, because the movement within that day is only this big. But when you have a move that's this big, it automatically changes the scale of everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because now think about, like, if in your brain, and it comes with practice, but you're used to seeing moves that are this big. So proportionally, if this gap is the same size proportionally as a gap, say, like this gap down was, see how this is still a gap down? A pretty big one in this context. But now, if this is the same distance,
is that a gap down? I thought
yeah,
that's
it's a
just
gap,
like
gap down, got bought.
Oh, okay,
See,
yeah,
the
the
21st
open.
gap down, got bought.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So if a stop of I don't know, say something like, this is even small probably for this day, but let's just say for the intents and purposes of what we're talking about, let's say that a stop like this relative to a candle of this. Okay, so let's actually let's set it up. So okay, gap down, got bought. So gap down, got bought. That's strong as shit. Look at that volume. Now I'm over all these moving averages. Okay. Yeah. So now I probably want to see another candle. Okay, now I'm thinking I probably missed it. In fact, I don't even know if I want triggered it now. But if I was going to, I'd set it up, I don't know, something like this. Because I have this protecting me. I have like this whole thing over here. This is, oops. No. It's like I have this stuff protecting me. And I have all these buyers protecting me. So like I'd be okay. And I have these EMAs, all this shit protecting me. So if I want to get in somewhere like this, I feel pretty cool about, I don't know, stop down here somewhere. That's okay. Should probably hold that. So let's see, my stop, the distance between my stop and my entry. Like that. On this big of a gap, which is a pretty big gap, right? See if I got triggered there. No, I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I probably would have taken my order off already. If it took that long to get filled, I probably would have taken it off. I don't know. This candle's pretty big. I might have been a little bit more patient. I would have never played this. I would have never played this in real life. I might have. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like 50% of the long day candle. It's not terrible. Like,
right. It's not terrible. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's in a good spot. This is a good trade. This is a nice continuation.
Yeah.
This is the exact trade I took on Carnival today, but in the other direction. I just feel more comfortable bear trading. But like, if you look at this trade relative to Carnival, I mean, it's not exactly the same because you would have needed to make a new high and get over this to make an R, and Carnival had nothing.
Right.
But this is still a good trade. You can still get up to an R. Let's see. Yeah, you're at 0.8 with this resistance, with that bull volume. Yeah, you can. And that's a strong candle. I mean, it's fair to assume you could get an R on this trade. So
yeah.
My point is, though, if you look at the size of this gap, the gap was this big.
Yeah, it's huge.
The gap was this big, right? And my stop is this big. So if the gap, oh, I skipped forward. Oh shit, is that too far? Yeah.
That's too far.
So no, that's it. We're good. So if the gap is this big and it required me to put a stop in that was this big.
Uh,
So if the gap is this big, what the hell is this? Nothing. This isn't going
Yeah.
to stop anything. Because a gap like this, I trade on a 65 minute. I trade this. This is a legit, like, it will change the daily. That's how big this gap is.
yeah.
It'll be obvious on a daily. So why would I trade it on a 5? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
So
Could you
quick
make money on?
question.
Suki, over here. Suki, you're okay. She won't hurt you. Come here, Suki. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Why the 65 and not 60, for example?
Because this YouTube channel I like, his name's K Kim. He uses the 65, and I just like to be able to. You're okay. Go ahead. I have her. Because he uses the 65, and she's awesome.
Yeah.
I would show you, but it's on my laptop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I use the 65 literally just because that dude uses it, and I like the way he charts. So now I use it. I don't know. I just like it.
Cool.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just like it. The extra 5 minutes, I'm not even sure. I just like it more. But yeah, that's what I use. And I don't know why I use the 105. Brett Glover used it. He taught me about it, and I was like, okay, I'll use that. I don't even trade the way Brett does. I just like the 105 now. I don't know. I just like it. I don't even actually use the 60. I'm on my credit spreads layout. So technically, like, this isn't even here when I'm day trading. It's like this.
I see.
Oops. So anyhow, yeah. I mean, where's your edge? Let's there's just nowhere to put a stop, and there's nowhere to put a target. There's nothing around for me to put a stop, and there's nothing around for me to put a target. I have literally no idea what it's going to do. So I have absolutely zero edge on a 5. Now we go to the 65. Let's see. Clear all the shit out of here. On a 65, now I got plenty of stuff to look at. I got all this stuff here, but I'm still not day trading it because the range of this 65-minute thing is way bigger than a 5-minute chart. Like on a 65-minute chart, this looks kind of small, but if you zoom into a 5, this is big.
Yeah.
So on a 65, I'll trade it. Maybe. I'll look at it. I won't trade it, but the appropriate time frame for me to take a trade on this type of gap would be the 65. Because now I'm looking, okay, it might retest somewhere in here. This looks like a good spot to retest. Not to the penny, but this is where I'm looking for a candle. This is where I'm looking for weird volume stuff happening. I'm not just putting an entry here and that's it. You could, but I'm looking for an entry at this level. I'm not looking for an entry at this wick. I'm not looking for an entry here. I'm looking for an entry anywhere after this line, basically, and up to this line, and it's still valid. So anything in the meat of this. If I get some kind of candle in here, some kind of weird volume stuff, okay, I'm paying attention. Do you see how that, it's like just the meat of all this stuff. Like you have some stuff here, you have some stuff here, and then you have nothing but like wicks and stuff until the real meat of this other stuff. So anything in here, I'm looking to catch something in here for a reversal, because once it gets past this stuff, now it's going to turn this into support. I don't want that. I want to catch it in here while it's still weak and ride it back down to the next level, which would be, I don't know, somewhere like this. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I still have good risk reward because I can still put a stop up here, and my stop is smaller than my winning area. See?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so on a 65, it's the same stuff. It's the same thing I'm doing on a 5. It's the same exact thing. It's just now the scale is bigger. The scale of everything's bigger.
Yeah, but you wouldn't take a day trade. But yeah, because it's just, yeah. Gotcha.
A short-term swing maybe, but I don't see anything. I wanted to let's see where it goes. So on the 65, it's not doing diddly. It's not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doing a thing. I mean, it looks weak. So now I'm looking, okay, maybe I'll play a bounce down here if I get some kind of hammer. If I get some kind of hammer that goes through all this stuff, now maybe RR makes sense to maybe if I catch a sweet ass hammer through here and it wicks down into here and I can get in somewhere like, I don't know, something like, this looks cool. something like that. We'll stop down here, and I can play it back up to the next level of resistance. I don't know, somewhere like this. That looks okay. Do something like that. I'd be quick about it. I wouldn't expect it to work because it's a 65 and I like things to move fast, and things don't move fast on the 65.
Yeah.
But so I'm not taking this probably on a swing. But yeah, probably not. I don't know.
So when did you kind of discover that you're more of a bear trader than a bull trader?
I don't know. I don't know. It looks better to me. It just looks easier. I don't know why. It just looks better.
I thought it's because you lost so much money that you're like, okay, I'm always losing on the long, so I might as well join the other team.
No,
That's
not
probably
really.
what I would.
I think that it's easier. It's easier for price to move down than up. Like
Yeah.
you have to have people can give up and the price will go down, but people have to like do something to get the price to go up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair.
Like if you just give up, the price is going to fall. I mean, if bears give up, the price is going to rise, but it's just less likely. Like you need something to move it. Like price can fall, but it needs to be pushed up. I mean, people can push it down, and then once it gets to a certain point, it'll start to fall. But it just seems easier. Like it just seems like there's less in the way.
I see. Gotcha.
And people don't like to lose money. Nobody hates making money. I mean, yeah. So most traders are bullish. So if most traders are trapped, I want to be in on that. I want to be in that short. Because most traders are bullish. At least I think. I don't know. That's what I think.
Whatever. It works for you, right?
Works for me. Yeah. So who cares? But yeah, cool, dude. Man. So CCL pissing me off because it would have worked. Let's see. I mean, I'm not pissed because I didn't lose a dime. Would have been a cool. I wouldn't have been in that long.
Yeah. Let's see what Johnny did. I don't know if he's still in it or not.
Is he in CCL? What did he play?
No, he's in INTC. Oh no, I'm pretty sure he got stopped out.
His shit was tight.
Yeah, it was.
He played INTC? I thought he played. Let me check this out. Yeah, I mean, I thought you said that it was Tony that played INTC.
No, it was Johnny. Johnny did.
What did he play it on? I'm looking at it too. He played it on the one, bro.
I didn't even realize that. Oh, yeah. That's so funny.
On the one, dude, that probably worked, but no way, not for me. Yeah, dude, the one has different roles. I mean, a lot of the same roles, but it's just different. It's just weirder. I don't know. The 5 for me is like nice and steady, clear, concise, makes sense. It's just the perfect time frame for me. I can get in and out of trades in less than 20 minutes and still make my R's. But I can clearly see shit happen.
You played it on the 3. You played it on the 3.
I thought in the
No, and then I think
that's when he changed his target. I see.
Yeah. But yeah, he put the inverse hammer, the high of the inverse hammer. And then he tried to fade it, which I don't think is actually a bad idea because like it gapped down so much, right?
But dude, but he tried to fade. Like if you're gonna fade it,
fade it earlier.
For me, I'm fading a bounce. For me, or close above this, close above that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, dude, like we just talked about. What does this tell me? This tells me that everybody that was trying to push it higher is now screwed.
Yeah.
And look at all this volume. That's a lot of. It's not one candle, but it's still a lot of volume. They're trying to push it higher. It didn't work. I mean, was it worth a try? Sure. Is it a bad trade? I don't think so. But I mean, dude, you have the EMAs. Like, what are the chances it makes? Let's see. Not only I guess he was just going for high a day, so that's not a bad trade. Yeah. I mean, he could have got out. He used pre-market. Yeah, that's not a bad trade. I didn't realize he was just going for like high a day. I mean, dude, he was over
1 hour.
Yeah.
He just
that was like a 3R trade. If you look at to high a day where that target was, that's like 3 Rs up there. So yeah, I mean that's pretty good trade.
No, it's not.
I mean, the initial setup.
The initial setup.
50 by 49.80 was his setup. So let's look.
50.
50 by 49.80. 50, 49.80.
Oh, I see.
Somewhere in there, call it. And his target was high a day. So yeah, I mean, it's 2R trade. I thought it was a little bit more, but yeah, it's 2R trade. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's a good trade for him. That's a great trade. If you're me, if you're me, I'm taking profits at this 10 EMA. That's 1.5 at the 10 EMA. I'm taking profits with this wick for sure, dude. I'm not staying in that thing. Why would I? Now everything's starting to fall down on it and compress it and on the downside. Like if it's gonna fade, it needs to be big and strong and reclaim these things quickly.
I see.
In my opinion, that's my opinion. Like if it's gonna fade successfully, it needs to be big, strong, and bring the EMAs with it and have those as support. Because what else do you have as support? Not a thing. So the EMAs need to be that support. That's a good Momo trade. But this gap was too big. It didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance. Especially with the size of these candles. If this thing was gonna fade, remember, the scale of everything changes. So if this thing's going to fade and fill this gap, we need big, or not even just fill it, but make a move through the gap. We need big candles. We need big candles to do that. I mean, yeah, you can get in and out for a quick little R like he did. That's fine. But, I mean, I'm taking profits here. Still a good trade. I mean, I don't know why he put his stop here. That stop doesn't make sense to me. I mean, for me, my stop's down here because there's protection. That's the only protection on this chart right now. And then I'm entering somewhere like this, and that's still an R, but I still wouldn't take the trade.
So here's another question. If you, let's say this comes back down to where your entry is again.
Right here, now, at this point in time?
Would that, okay, so
Not
there
a
you get back
chance.
in, and
I
then
would
could
never,
you put the stop?
ever take that trade.
Is it because it double topped and then?
I'm already done, bro. Here's the first
yeah,
move.
Yeah.
If you got lucky enough to maybe make a second move, why in the world
did you go for a third?
It's 10:30. Like you're done, dude. What you just made? How many ever R's you wanted to? Like, why are you getting back in? Like, you want to give it back? Why? You just won. Leave.
Oh man, do I have a horror story for you? What I did yesterday?
Oh, bro, I've got plenty, dude. I've got plenty of horror stories.
I was down 7 Rs and I made 6 Rs back on a trade, and then after that I made 2 Rs on the same thing. So I ended up profitable, but I just kept thinking the stock was gonna bounce, and every time I thought it would bounce, it just never bounced, and then I just kept going. It was bad, man. And
bro,
I've done
been
that
there
so many times.
Do you know how lucky you are that you got the 6, the 9, the 7, the 8 R back?
Yeah, I know. So I can tell you, so in the first 3 to 4 months when I was trading, I didn't lose, like, so I told you I had the six grand account, right, or 5 grand account, but basically I didn't blow it up like gradually, man. It was only like there's like several days that just contributed to the whole explosion.
Dude, that sucks so bad.
So it was bad, man. But yeah, like I even did that a bunch of times, like this month, and I don't even know why. Like my brain's just a bad boy. So,
dude.
But yeah,
I don't know, man.
Never
I mean,
again.
when you have expectations, when you're like, I'm gonna make $1 million, $100, $200, $400, $500, it doesn't matter, because you're like, I'm gonna make $1 million. But you can't make the $1 million until you stop losing the 1,000. So that's the mindset shift for me. Oh, look, we have a double top here, actually. That would have been a nice little move down. I wouldn't have, I mean, dude, look at these fucking wicks. That's not going to go higher ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I know what you mean. It's, so like in my mind, same thing. So think about your R being $1,000 and you just lost 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd never do that. You'd never let yourself lose that much money.
Yeah, so bad.
You wouldn't do it. So why is it any different? Like an R, you have to start thinking about an R as much money as you want it to be. $10,000, 20, like whatever it is. For me, $1,000 R works.
Yeah. I'm not there yet, but it's where I want to be. eventually. But
Even mentally, dude, just
yeah,
mentally, think of it as
yeah,
$1,000. Like
yeah, you're right.
when you're up and a trade's like barely nudging along and it's not working the way you wanted it to, and you can just close it profitable because you're not sure what's going to happen, and you close it for 0.2R, bro.
Yeah,
You just put
that's
gas
true.
in your car for 2 months
Yeah,
on a trade
yeah,
that didn't work. Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like one day, like last week, I think I got out for like 0.02 R's, and I was like, okay, I just paid for Chipotle this entire week.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, thank you for putting into perspective, man, because yeah, it's been
it,
bugging me. I'm
it
like,
took me a lot of money losing to get it there.
yeah, oh, of course. It's called tuition, right? Dummy tax.
I spent more money in the markets. I've lost more money in the markets than on my college degree.
Yes, dude.
I have
That's
a
rough.
master's. I have a
Oh,
goddamn
really?
PhD in the market.
Oh,
No,
wow.
in the market, I have the
Oh, in the
PhD.
market?
That's how
Yeah,
much money I spent.
yeah.
Dude, but it's true. But I really do now,
That's
though, you
fair.
know? Like I really do have a PhD in the market now because of like
Mm,
how, well, maybe not a PhD, but at least like a master's. But yeah,
yeah,
I paid for it, dude. But honestly, if I didn't pay for it,
yeah.
for me, it takes that. It took, listen, dude, you are running out of money. You are running out of money. Every dime that you have, you will have $0 left to your name if
Mhm.
you keep this up. And it's not like I don't have debt, bro. It's not like all my debt's paid off. It's not like my student loans are paid off. It's not like my
Yeah,
car is paid off.
yeah,
Like I'll have $0, zero job, and
yeah,
like $40,000 worth of debt.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's not cool. I need to stop losing money and find a way
yeah.
to start making it. And like as soon as I was like, okay, even if I don't pay all my bills, even if I can just make 70% of my bills, I'm still losing money at a slower rate.
Which is
Like
improvement, right?
I still don't have to get a job, and I can like squeak by on the money I do have for like 2 years without getting a job if I only pay 70% of my bills.
Mm-hmm.
That's better than having a job for those 2 years. So like, and then once I got that mindset of like, just lose less, just stop
Mm,
the bleeding.
yeah,
Then I started to like, okay, I stopped the bleeding after like 4 days or 4 trades. Now I can actually make money. Like, like it was a paradigm shift. Like if I just make 4 R's, my bills are paid, and
mm,
my goal's only 10 or like 6. And I just if I literally after that 4R point, I start trading like I did on CCL today, and I'm like, okay, I just almost had 0.8. It worked immediately, did exactly what I wanted it to. It got down here. It gave me a hammer now. I'm not losing money, dude. I'm not losing a dime. I'm not losing any money. I might not make any, but I already paid my bills this month. I'm not going to lose a dime because now I'm eating into my bill money. So yeah,
mm.
I have the luxury now of trading. Like if I take this 0.8, I should honestly do that. It's not like I should have taken it, because if it was going to fall and just piss all day long, it was going to happen right there. Like if there was going to be a nice big 2-3 hour move, it was going to happen right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right here, this, because I got triggered in on this candle. It immediately worked. I'm immediately making what? I'm immediately making, $260
Yeah,
in seconds.
yeah,
So, yeah, like if it's gonna come down here and it's gonna work, and it's gonna work the way I envision it in my mind, it's gonna come down here first. Then I'll hold to a retest. Then I'll hold through a retest. Honestly, I'm probably taking it there, but I'll probably hold through one retest because there's nothing here.
mm-hmm.
So if it just plummets down here and I'm already in up here, dude,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
wouldn't I hold it?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I can literally trail my stop to 1.5 after it retests, and whatever happens on this trade, I'm making $1,500. Dude, why would I not do that? Like,
Yeah.
so simple.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I honestly didn't know, like, if you know trading, you could actually do it for like a living. I kind of believed it, but I also don't, because like obviously most of the time you only believe things that you can prove or you've experienced, right? And obviously I can't. But then like, and then also then like coming from Jeremy, it's a bit biased, right? Because like obviously like
Already a millionaire.
exactly, right? Like like does it actually work like that? And I'm sure he has other income sources too, right? So like,
Yeah, exactly. The
so
pressure's not there anymore.
no, well, like
For almost all these guys, the pressure's not there anymore. It's still there for me, bro.
oh yeah, but
I feel it every day.
it's just like like I don't know how Jeremy described it to me was like you have to be like a pro football player, a pro basketball player. I'm just like, okay, well, dude, those are like 1 in a million. Like I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to try really hard and practice every day and do all the things I need to do. But like even if I do that, you're telling me it won't work, then I'm
allow
like,
me to
well,
recalibrate that. Allow me to
okay.
recalibrate that. You don't need what he means, what the sentiment behind that statement is. You need to be an expert. You need to be that good. You need to practice that much. You need to make it your life.
Yeah.
You need to be a professional at it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's professional mechanics. There's a mechanic that can take your car apart in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Be that good. Mechanics pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, the only difference between a mechanic, like you're as good at trading as a mechanic is at fixing cars.
Yeah.
But a mechanic will never be able to scale that.
Yeah.
You're no better. Like, dude, he's just as good. If he would have not paid attention to fixing cars and focused on trading, he would be a billionaire, a millionaire. That's the thing about trading. You don't have to be LeBron James to become a billionaire or a millionaire. I should say millionaire. Trade, because a billionaire, it takes some extra special stuff. But a millionaire, dude, it's just the scalability. Like you can be as better than a trader that has a $20 million account. I guarantee you can be better than that trader with a $10,000 account. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's the money.
It's because it's scalable. The scale is endless up to a point. Once you start like moving volume bars with your money, then the accumulation stuff starts to come in and then you can't really like day trade as much unless you're dealing with options. Like it takes days to scale into this. That's like That's but I don't give a shit. I don't want to be that rich. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that much money. Give me a couple mil, dude. I'm cool. Let me just dude, you have a $2 million account and you just sell covered calls. $200K a year to sell covered calls? Come on. It's the easiest life ever, dude. You're making $200K a year selling, like literally with like almost this much risk.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like it's ridiculous. Why would it and at that point, dude, then you can like start exploring whatever the hell else it might be that you want to do with your life, because money doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like for me, once I hit that level and my money's on cruise control and I don't need to do shit, I'll probably day trade for fun because it's cool. I'll day trade when I want to buy new shit, like cool stuff, but like most of it will be on cruise control, and like I'll be making pastries somewhere. I'll be doing woodworking. Like that's the stuff I want to do.
Yeah, me too, but that's like where I want to get to. There's so many goals I want to do, but I need to get this sorted first, right? That's why I'm putting so much
dude, don't get me wrong. I love trading. I love it, dude. I love it so much.
Same here.
But okay, would I rather, like, if I made my money and it's 10:30 and I could go like craft something out of wood or like make a sweet ass cake and like do cool stuff?
Yeah.
Like, would I rather sit here and watch each tick? Not really. Like maybe a couple days a week because it's fun and it's cool, but like I'm bored, like it's 12 o'clock. I'm bored as shit. And I used to take trades out of boredom. That would really cost me money. But yeah, dude. Like now it's a legit rule. If I miss and it's like 10:30, dude, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not because I don't
trade after 10 actually.
Yeah, me like 10's like pretty close because like I'll show you another trade. 10 you can maybe, like, I have this other strategy called the samurai. Where the hell did I play it? It was this one. It was this one. Look at this beauty. Yeah. So what time was this? 9:45. Yeah, pretty close to 10. But yeah, I played this. I played this short because look at this. This stuff up here. Look at this move. Come on, dude. It's got to pull back. So well, you have like 79 bull candles in a row. You have this monster. You have this monster. You have this monster. The only thing we can ever run into is right here. So like I put a stop right here. I take an entry. So once I see this volume, let's get this thing out of here. So once I see the volume come in, on this. I literally was just telling you about this. See how tiny this candle is?
Mhm.
This tiny little candle right there. That teensy tiny little guy has more volume than this candle.
Yeah.
So what in the world do you think is going to happen as soon as price gets to right there? Everybody in that candle is losing money immediately. Yeah. So I don't even think I had my stop. I think I had my stop somewhere like this. So, okay, at this point, I'm like, all right, I don't want it to go any higher. I want to get in something like this. I think I've had my stop. Oh, wait, wrong direction.
Yeah, I was like, you sure that's the right one?
I don't even think I had it like, I think it was tighter. I
Yeah.
think because of that volume, I think I put it somewhere like that. So, yeah, I think I put it somewhere like this because these little wicks here. Yeah, I think I put it something like that. Yeah, that's probably exactly what I did. That's probably exactly how it looked. So next candle, I get triggered in. Okay, I'm in. I love that volume still. I love how that's a wick. At this point, I am licking my chops. So now I'm gonna see where 1R is. So right away, I'm planning out my R. So there's my R right there. Anything past that's a bonus. And I already know. So same thing, remember? Everybody in this thing's losing money.
Yeah.
Everybody. So if all of them cover, where is price gonna go? Somewhere like this. It's not unreasonable to think the price is gonna come somewhere down here. And that's past my R. That's well past my R. I only needed to come to here to get me an R.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this looks like great risk reward already.
So how do you know when to hold it for longer?
When I hold it for longer, I'm glad you asked. So I would not hold it for longer in a setup like this. I would hold. I look how the candles are coming as they're forming, and I'm looking how the thing's moving. But like a trade like this, at best, because the strength of this move, at best, you might get something like, I don't know, like this, maybe. That's 2 R's. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Where the hell are my EMAs? I deleted my EMAs. God damn it. Wait a second. Okay, that's better. Okay, so my EMAs are creeping up. They're creeping up. This is about the, I don't know, not 50% of it. So I always put my stuff conservative. I don't want to like set my sights down here at the 50% because now I want to be conservative. I want to make sure, I want to be pretty sure that the price is going to get there. Could price get here? Probably, maybe, but this is a stretch. It would have to come down to the moving averages. Yeah, it could, but I'm not confident. Dude, I'm damn sure price is going to get to here. I am damn sure price is going to go this far. I'm sure. So I want to take the money I'm sure I'm going to get. I don't want to maybe. So, but let's see what the candles look like. Okay,
It's
I'm
so
pumped.
funny.
I'm pumped.
My eyes are just set on the opposite direction of like
to go long.
Well, like just to take it out of the gate because it just rocket up, right? Like
sure, you can take it out of the gate. That would have been a cool trade. Look at this consolidation. Let's see it. It's probably a TTM squeeze. Not really. I probably wouldn't have. But yeah, I mean, you could.
So I would have probably taken it as like a 1 minute break.
Dude, that could work. And I'm sure, look, you probably made a shitload of money on a 1 minute break. What day was this?
Probably not.
The 8th?
I don't know. I didn't take this guy, but
no, you had no chance.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's probably some kind of pre-market thing you could have gone away with.
Maybe pre-market high or something. Even the break of that's not terrible too.
I don't know. That's not a trade.
Yeah. I need to get out of that because I see those big 3 candles right there and it just makes me salivate.
Dude, me too, in the other direction. Because I'm like, okay, this is a goddamn lightsaber. This can't just keep going. What's in its way? What's going to hit it and make it fall? Because we both can agree. And anyone that knows how to trade, anyone that's been around the markets for like 2 days, it's going to pull back. Yeah. It has to.
Yeah.
It has to. This is not the lowest this ticker will ever be or I should say, this is not the lowest the price of this ticker will ever be for the actually this, I should say that. This is not the lowest price will ever be for the rest of the ticker's future ever in the history of this ticker. It's not going to happen. It's going to pull back.
So here's another question. Like if it pulls back to the 10, throws in a hammer, would you go for it again?
I'm out. Nope, I'm out.
Just
I'm
'cause
taking
you're
this trade
profitable?
short and short only.
Mm.
If at this point, where am I going to get in long?
Well,
somewhere down here, I guess.
Well, if you're retesting, you use the 10 as the support.
I personally, if I'm going to take a trade long, this would be cool. This would be I would do something like this. I would say, okay, down here, something like this, because all this, it shouldn't take that out. I mean, it just roadhouse through all that shit. So why would it take that out? So yeah, maybe I'll take this long, but even still, bro, I'm taking this long, and to get the high of day, okay, I take this long. Do we agree that this is probably the best entry that you could get on this chart as it is right now long?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Best case scenario, I'm making 1.35 Rs.
I might even have my stop a bit lower too, because just below the consolidation. Like
I don't think you need to at all, because look at this monster. If price goes, dude, not just this monster, but these monsters. Think of this as one big monstrous candle.
Yeah.
So it should maybe retrace the 50%, but if it takes that thing out, bro, the move's not going to work. It shouldn't do that in the same day. No way. If it does that in the same day, I don't even know what's going to happen to this price. So it shouldn't happen. So what I am seeing though, okay, the best case scenario on that trade was 1.35. Let's say we just take this thing down to the 50% retracement of this move, which is, I'm eyeballing it, but somewhere in here, it's 2.64. Where's the money coming from? It's not the move's done long. We still need a pullback though. So like, yeah, I could grind higher and make a new high for like 1.5. Takes all goddamn day, sitting here watching it. Or I could make 1 R in 5 minutes and 2 R in 10 minutes. Like, what do I want to do? So already, I think I took my profits on this first candle. But honestly, if I were already like up a lot for the month, I would hold this trade because I think it's going to come to at least down to here. So I'll hold for 1.7. I'm not even going to wait for it to get to the moving average. If I get 1.7 in 2 candles, I'm pumped. I'm out. I'm out. To the penny almost. I'm out. Done for the day. Done for the day. 1.7, $1,700 in 10 minutes. I'm done. Like, what do you want, dude? What do you want out of life? How does it get better than that from a money perspective?
That's awesome. Damn, man, really appreciate you. You gave me a lot of perspective, like technical wise too, but I think it's like the perspective that, was a really big benefit for me today. But yeah, thank you so much for taking it like fucking half the day to
whatever, dude.
chat
All
with
good.
me, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
I'm also going to let me just real quick show you these back trading journals.
Sure.
Just so I can talk you through them, because I'm going to send them to you. I want to give you like some idea of what it's going to be all about.
Cool.
I mean, make them your own, dude. But for me, okay, is that up there? Okay. So the strategy I basically just showed you on LVS is called, I don't know. I haven't really like, how about that?
Did you come up with these rules yourself?
Yeah, I did. So take these rules with a grain of salt and just kind of keep in your mind the things that I showed you and what we talked about. Okay. And if I didn't do because I don't go off the rules, like I kind of know them, and I basically just wrote them to have something written down. But the rules are what I just showed you. So this is a place to start so that you can be like, okay, well, what's not a good idea, and blah, 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 blah. So just, make them your own, look at the rules, do whatever. The continuation is basically what I showed you on CCL. And I think I even put, example setups that are like really good. So like, here's a hammer that's really good. I don't think I did it with the samurai, but you can go through literally all these and see what I was like talking about. And dude. And this is the data that I track for them. I mean, honestly, in my master log, I don't even track this stuff anymore. I don't even track it basically. The reason I tracked this was because I wanted to calibrate my expectations. I wanted to
Right.
know, how often does it get back to the 10? How often does it go past the 10 when I play this type of move with this reversal pattern? What's the RSI usually when things start to like reverse? So that's why I was tracking this data. How long am I usually in a trade? How many candles does it usually take for me to be able to get out of the trade profitable? How often, if I do trail my stop, do not trail my stop, how often would I have been stopped out for the full R? That's stuff that I wanted to know at one point. Now I already know. I just kind of have a feel for it. I don't really need this stuff. But yeah, that's why they're here. So play with it, make it your own. Do your own stuff too. This is just a gift to you. Use it for whatever the hell you want.
Thank you so much, man.
For sure, dude. And dude, I want you to set a goal. I want you to set a goal that when you make $1,000 and all your stuff is paid for, and you feel like you're in a comfortable spot, that you just had like these great trades and everything's been going well, you're confident, your back trading's going really well, you get everything set up, you're trading consistently profitable. You're not making millions, but you're in like, a few weeks have passed, things are going really well. You've made a nice $1,000 that you could pay to your like loans and stuff like that if you have anything, but you feel confident enough that you're going to make another $1,000 and you want to reinvest that in your trading to get even better and more profitable at your trading. I want you to buy Tony Pollock's credit spread class.
Yeah.
I want you to buy that. And dude, what we're talking about, bill paying money and consistent cash flow and all this and that, dude, it literally is the best. It's amazing. Like, it's so good.
Awesome.
Like, day trading is just a bonus right now. It's fun. But I mean, dude, I'm still day trading because I'm good at it and I want to double my account growth speed. But dude, it'll just alleviate so much stress, like life
stress.
Yeah, dude. Even just being, I mean, dude, also it can add stress if you're not like, when you first are getting the hang of it and you're seeing your account like drop like 10%, you're like, ugh. But then after you get into like quite a few of them, you're like, okay, I see how it works. I know how to hedge. Everything's cool. Like I'm not going to lose that much money. Everything's okay. Like at worst case, I'll lose like 30% of my max loss. And dude, it's really, really cool. It's super cool. So, and I think that everyone that's in the markets that's like literally trying to do this for a living should know how to do credit spreads.
Thanks for the advice, because it's something I wanted to get into, but because I've already dedicated my time to day trading or to at least understanding the market, it's what I want to at least finish or not.
Yeah, no, dude, it's the same thing. Like credit spreads don't make any sense. They're useless until you understand how the support and resistance and sentiment works. So that's definitely like master this stuff first. But once you get it and once it makes sense consistently, you're like, oh, I see where price is going to go. I see what's going to protect my stop. I see where a target could be. When your expectations are calibrated. And you understand, like, it's not going to go here to the penny, but like in this area, it should bounce. In this area, it should stop. Like, this is a good spot to get in. This makes sense. Risk reward's there. Once you get that stuff ironed out and you're trading consistently, even back trading consistently, you're trading consistently profitable. Start the same process all over again of tiny R's, but with credit spreads. You need to learn how to do credit spreads. It's so the easiest money you will ever make, dude. Awesome. So easy. And especially when you have a big account and you can go in small with even tinier risk and it's just, dude, you just need to know how to do credit spreads. So awesome.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. I have
man.
I have a few goals. One is just I don't care if it's like 0.1 of an R, but I want to be profitable for 1 month. And the second thing is earn that $1,000 to get the credit spread course and eventually learn it. But number 3 is to treat you to that king crab dinner when you get
That'd be so cool, dude. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, dude. I hope we can make it happen. That'd be sweet. But yeah, dude, back trade your butt off.
Got it.
Dude, this is what you're doing full time, right? This is it?
Yeah.
3 hours a day.
Yeah.
3 hours a day, back trade. 3 hours a day, dude. Put every single trade in that journal the same way I did it. Not necessarily the same data. Create your own data that's relevant to you. If you want to use those, fine. But make sure you take a screenshot of the chart and put the link in there like that. I mean, every single trade, track it all. The side like, dude, all of it. 3 hours a day. And another thing, I'll show you real quick before we get off, just because this is I don't know if everybody knows this, but I'll show you the way that I back trade to simulate that emotion, to simulate the real world. What screen am I on? Okay, I gotta switch screens. Hold on a sec.
Hold on, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick and close the door.
Okay, me
Sorry.
too then. Stay. No, go back. Up. Stay there. Wait.
Yo,
What's up, man?
what's up? You wanted
Okay,
to show
so
me your back trading method?
yes, I want to show you this before we get off because this, for me, also made a big difference. Because I don't want to know anything. Like, in order to simulate market conditions, I just don't. I don't even want a little hint. I don't want any inclination that's going to
Yeah,
give me an
same.
advantage. So what I do is real simple. Come up here. Boop, I hide that.
Oh, nice.
Boop, I hide that.
Nice.
Boop, I hide that. Boop, I hide that. And I go here. And I pick random day. Looks good to me. And then I go here. And then I turn everything back on.
Do you care what kind of gap it is on that day or not really?
I think it's better off to not even think like that. Just play the volume and the price action in the candles. Like, don't
Okay.
think retest gap, don't think gap and go. Like, dude, it's not anything until it is. Like, it has to show you what it is. Don't think about what it's supposed to be, because that'll keep you from seeing what it is. Sometimes. For me, it did that.
Okay.
That's how I would think about that. Okay, so here we go. So I don't even care about anything on this chart until I see the first candle. So let's see what happens. Okay, I mean, I'm probably not going to play this. If I was going to play it, I'd play it short. But I'm not going to play it because for me, I don't know, one could play this. I probably wouldn't. But, oops. Just because it's a little, yeah, it's not that great. Let's see what it looks like. It's not terrible. I don't know. Yeah. Shit, let's take it. Okay, dude, now I'm loving it. Uh-oh, now I don't like it. It's got to move. Okay, we're going to win.
See, I don't know what I just saw there.
I'm out. What do you mean?
Like, I'm not really sure what.
Why I did that?
Yeah, so like you had a high wave candle in the open, and then
I'm so sorry, dude.
a high wave
Oh, I'm so
candle,
sorry.
okay, and then don't know what's, so that's indecision, and then the next candle is okay.
That's not a
got
high
bottom.
wave, bro.
Is it not?
That is an inverse hammer. In my world, that is an inverse hammer.
Is it just because it has a longer upper wick?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so
Not only that, but the sentiment, dude. Like, that's not indecision. Those people tried to make a decision. It didn't work. Like, that's what that means.
So what if the
To
candle
me.
was green? Would that have made a difference or not really?
No, not really.
Okay.
This is an indecision candle. Like, a high wave candle is like, if you got one here after this candle, you'd be like, okay, are we going to bounce or is it going to go lower? But this isn't a downtrend. It's not a high wave right here in the middle of this stuff. It tried to go through this and it didn't work.
But it also tried to go lower and it didn't work.
But not really. I mean, where did it not work more?
Yeah, okay.
It didn't work more this direction. Yeah. And I mean, turn this candle upside down now. Put the body up here and the EMA's down here under the body. Now I'm with you. That is a hammer going up. And it might reverse. But if I'm looking at this, I mean, it meets all our criteria. We have a safe place to put our stop because, look, okay, so first and foremost, we have a wick with volume. We have a wick with volume poking down through here. We have a nice place to put our stop. This is a little level right here. See this? This is a little level. This is consolidation. This is a level right here. Boop, 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 boop. This is a decent little place to put our stop. I like this little wick. I'm not going to lie. I'm not looking for that wick, but I don't even know if I'm doing that on purpose. But the fact that I see it, I guess I like it. I'm not registering it necessarily like consciously, but I like the way that this wick fits with all this other stuff right here. I just like that. It just looks good to me. It looks symmetrical. It just looks nice. It looks linear. So I'm already in a downtrend. The reason I was reluctant to take it was because this EMA was a little high. So it might have very well done something like this and then gone lower. And I might have had a chance. I probably wouldn't have shorted it up here though, because then at that point, the momentum is more of a reverse because now it's going to retest and it could potentially go higher. So when I see this candle, that's why I was reluctant. But then I was like, there's some decent volume. I like that. There's nothing really beneath it. It's in a downtrend. If I do get triggered in and it goes bullish on me, I'm going to have a chance because it's going to do this. So if I do get triggered in and it goes bullish, I'm going to have a chance to get out break even before it goes higher because it's going to bounce up here because this is resistance. So for me, my stop is protected and it's going to roll down. And even if it rolls just to here, I'm going to lose small. So I'm going to know it's not going to work pretty immediate. Like if it doesn't give me a candle, like an inverse hammer on this wick, I know it's going to not work. Like if it just goes strong as hell, like I know it's probably not going to work, but it's going to need to bounce here because it's in a downtrend and there's a lot of shit here. So it's going to need to bounce. It should retest down. So if it does that, I'm going to get out small. And if it doesn't do that, then I'm going to probably win on the trade. So hold on, why is this? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'll take this. Same thing. Look, halfway in the somewhere in the body of the hammer. Here's the other level of resistance. So I'm putting it just somewhere in here. I have all this stuff to protect my stops. That's where I'm putting it. Okay, I'm in. I don't love the candle, but then I see the wick. I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. I still feel okay. I'm not losing money. I would really hate to, but let's see. Okay, at this point, I'm like, cool, this should work.
That's good. Yeah.
I like that candle a lot.
Yeah.
I love that candle. I like that candle because look at all these wicks.
Yeah.
They're failing. And it's right here on this line. It's right there on that support line or resistance line. It's right there. They're failing. They can't do it. So when you ask me what trades do I usually hold for more, this one, this type of trade, one that I've already sat through 20, 25 minutes and it's still, it's literally building momentum to go in the direction I want it. Yeah, I'll hold this one. Then we get this. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I see this hammer with this volume, I don't love it, but I'm gonna hold. I've already held this long. This is already showing me this stuff. I might try my
because that
stop.
resembles a hammer.
Yeah, and the lower wick with the volume. So I might move my stop somewhere like this now, a little tighter. And now I'm pretty confident. Let's see what happens.
Why are you confident with that candle?
With this one?
Yeah, with
it's just moving down. It's just moving down. I just like
moving
it.
Down
I actually
with a lot of volume.
Yeah, the EMAs are now lower. I kind of still expect one more pop. There it is. So now, let's see, where am I at? That's 1R. I don't know. I'll probably try out a break even. I'll probably do something like this. Yeah, okay, that's it. So yeah, once I get down into here somewhere, I'd probably take it down there. Probably take it down there. After I see this guy come in, this little do nothing candle right here. Because like after this falls, I kind of want to, like me, the way my eyes are calibrated, when this falls, I want like two big candles like this. That's just how I look at it. It's just what I have played out in my head. So I want another big strong move down and maybe a wick then.
Yeah.
But I don't want this thing. So if I get this thing, I don't know. I'm probably putting it somewhere like this. I don't really like that. So let's see what I'm probably marketing out somewhere, honestly, because that's I mean it's still 1R though.
Yeah.
You can lock in an R. Why not? And dude, this thing probably rolls down, it probably still goes, keeps going. Because now the EMAs are working with it. Now it's starting to base a little bit. Yeah, it's basing now. Yeah, now there's the move up. So yeah, so I would have played it. Would have been a good trade.
Damn.
But yeah, so that's what I do. Okay, so now that day's done. I turn everything back off. Because now it doesn't matter, right? Every day's a new day. I don't give a shit what happened until the first candle of the day. Because the first candle of the day is going to tell me what today means. I don't care what yesterday means. Because yesterday's over. I care about today. I care about this candle. So now I'll just I don't know, pick something else. Probably not Carvana because it's not one of, I mean, shit, let's do it. Carvana. Okay, now I'll do the same thing. Everything's off. Can't see a thing. Let's go, I don't know, June 16th. Go. Oh, wait, not yet. Do this first. Oh, and I'll put that thing in my journal. So I'll do the copy link thing, and then I'll go plug that in my journal with all the data. Okay, I think I'm back. So let's turn everything back on. Nope. Volumes. Yeah, RSI. Okay. Okay, right away, I don't love the volume I'm seeing. It doesn't look like a lot that it's gonna like, this doesn't look like a lot of volume. I'm not like pumped about this. Where the hell is it? Did I turn this back on? Yeah, I did. Okay.
I don't
How much
see any
does this thing
candles.
cost? Where is this thing? It's on. I just haven't found the price yet. Oh, there it is. It's way more expensive. That's why. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So right away, I'm seeing, okay, I see some support levels. I see some resistance stuff, just rough lines. I'm seeing some stuff like this. I see this move just happened. So like, there's not a, you know, this is a move here. So that's like a thing. A base, and then it made a move. So, I mean, I'm taking that into consideration, but I don't really care until I delete it all. I don't care. I want to see what the first candle is going to do. All right, that is a bearish move. Let's see what's going to happen. So it's going to, I mean, this is a bouncing spot. So right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm probably not going to touch this. I know already, I'm probably not going to play this because it's probably going to do something, chop around. It's probably not going to do a whole lot. But if it does, I mean, there's other people like the 10 EMA strat could be perfect on this because if you get like 2 bull candles that creep up and then you get in below one, yeah, it's probably gonna go lower. But let's see what happens. Yeah. So that failed. Here's the next level where it should stop. It should definitely stop somewhere in here. So if you wanted to have like, if you wanted to like be real gutsy, this is what that samurai strategy was. You could do something like this. So RSI's in the mud. You could do, oops, not that. You could do something like this. You want to catch it, give it a little bit of room to wiggle, something like this. See how I'm getting that over here? Get this thing out of here. You could do something cute like this. In fact, probably make it a little bit bigger. Something like that. See if we get in.
Ooh, nice.
Nope, didn't work. But yeah, sometimes you'll catch a nice little bounce. Yep. I don't really play those. I don't play them often, but they're fun to back trade and play around with. But yeah. So now since it's not bouncing there, dude, it's going to just keep going. I mean, this is a pretty big move down. It should bounce. I mean, you got a little bit of bull volume coming in here. It should do something pretty soon. Let's see. So we missed it by what, 1 candle? Couple candles. Yeah. Didn't miss it by much. But yeah, that's another way you can play it. Where'd that thing end up bouncing? Right here. See? Everything, like, it's not just random. Everything's going to go somewhere. I thought that it might be this level. Just went another level. That's all. Could have tried it again right here. I wouldn't have, but you could have.
Yeah. So you put a limit buy, right? At the first level?
A stop buy.
You put a stop buy?
I only use stop buys, actually. I don't use limit buys ever. Wait, is that true? Yeah, that's true. I don't think I ever use limits.
I guess it works the same way. Evidently, if you wanted to put it below or above, it really doesn't matter.
For me, if the price hits the point where I want it, like I want in. So for me, that's a stop because I'm immediately in.
Yeah,
a stop limit, you might, like if you're trading like a goofy stock like GameStop that has just a wonky spread, then you might get filled like 20 cents away if you don't use a stop limit. So like the stop limit would be like, okay, my stop is at 272.34. My limit is 272.30. So like there's no way I'm going to get more than 4 cents of slippage. I might get missed. The trade might not fill me, but I'm not going to get some weird slippage that I'm not ready for that throws off my RR. So I just use a stop because the tickers I trade, they're large mid caps. I don't care about slippage, just a few pennies. So yeah, I just use stops because if I want in, I want in. I want in right now. As soon as it hits the line, I mean, the line I drew, I want in as soon as it hits that. Because so often, dude, you'll get just a flash up here and then boop. Like that's how a lot of these inverse hammers and hammers get made. So just by flashes. So I want it instantly to trigger. Not just trigger, but fill. Even if it slips 2 cents on the way down,
It doesn't
I don't
matter.
care. I want it. I want it.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I learned so much. I really have to digest.
Dude, well, I'm gonna post the recording, so you'll have it. You can go over it whenever you want. Cool.
Yeah. Where are you gonna post it?
Maybe in the Slack. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, I guess so. It's fine.
Cool, dude.
Cool, man.
Well,
Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone wants to watch like a 2-hour recording of us just bullshitting.
definitely, dude. Do you know how many of these I've watched? like, dude, Jeremy's mentorship, like Monday videos and stuff like that. Oh, that reminds me. What was I gonna say? Brain fart. Oh yeah. So before you take Tony's credit spread class, you need to learn what options are.
Yeah.
So when you get to that point, there's several videos I'll send you, but there's 2 that Jeremy does on credit spreads. It's everything you need to know about credit spreads, part 1 and part 2. And it literally is everything you need to know about credit spreads. And then Tony just, since you know what credit spreads are, Tony plops a strategy into it. Make sense?
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So yeah, dude. But yeah, I mean, I'll be here. I'm a resource whenever. So dude, any charts you want to send me, trades, anything like that, I'm here for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
For sure, dude.
Oof.
When you get super good, just teach other people.
Oh, dude, that's on the radar.
Yeah. It's fun to help people, dude. It's the best.
Yeah, it really is. Awesome, man. Thank you so much,
bro.
man.
For sure, dude.
Make sure you like pop me a message once in a while, just to BS or whatever. Anything works.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
All
I'm in Slack every day, most of the day. So yeah, dude. I'll see you.
Yeah, same here. All right, man.
All right,
Thank you
bro.
so
Peace.
much. I
For sure,
appreciate
man.
it.
See ya.
Okay, see ya.